Well, kia ora te whānau and welcome to the Trafalgar Centre here in Nelson. It is time for Sky Broadband Rapid League basketball action for 2025. And we've got a match coming up in just a moment between the home team, the Nelson Giants, and the Franklin Bulls. Round 3 of this league. Looking forward to seeing the Giants in action in this game. They're unbeaten 2-0, going really well in the Rapid League again. They are the defending champions, the inaugural champions from last year. And here's the Franklin Bulls, who are struggling a little bit in the Rapid League. This will be their 5th game, and they've only won 1 so far. Glenn Lama here, Maya Williamson with us. Maya, this is going to be interesting to see. Franklin have got a bit of a point to prove here. You know, their NBL team's going pretty well, and I guess it's time for their Rapid League team to step up.
Yeah, I mean, the Bulls have a great squad. They're very deep, so the young guys have been developed in Franklin for a long time now. They just haven't been able to hit the mark on the head, but they've been competing quite well, and they'll be looking to get a win tonight. But like you said, the Giants are pretty good.
Yeah, the Giants 2-0 at the top of the table, just ahead of the Otago Nuggets at the moment. And down the table a little bit in 10th place, we have the Franklin Bulls at the moment with that solitary win in the competition so far. Yes, Nelson have a lot of good young talent again, don't they? And looking forward to seeing them in action. There's Franklin there, you can see, in 10th place, just ahead of Manawatu and the Southland. So they really need a win, Maya, don't they, to try and keep in touch.
Yeah, they'll definitely be wanting a win tonight, like you said. It's going to be a tough feat against the good Giants team, but this is a talented squad of young guys who have come up through the program, so they definitely have it in them.
Christian Varno was back today. He missed the game against the Hawks at the weekend, but Harry Coker-Gray is there again. Peyton Hughes, who not long ago dropped 6 3-pointers in a Rapid League game. Casey Nufford is there again, and Zion Anderson, number 25, the former 5 player from last year, will complete the lineup. There is 2 players on the bench today, Marcel Jones and Flynn Cameron is there, which is interesting. We'll get onto that in just a moment. In the meantime, let's have a look at this Nelson team. Hayden Jones, Lockie Craig, who's come down from Manawatu. Of course, James Matthews, the head boy of Nelson Boys. Sam Dempster, he's a teacher, right, at Nelson Boys? I wonder if Sam teaches James. How's that dynamic going to play today?
That's a fair shout, actually. He's also his high school coach too, so you know, that's a good relationship going on.
And Will Blight is there too, who is coming from the Rams last year as well. That forward battle between Dempster and Nufford, we've got a hardened vet there in Sam Dempster against Casey Nufford, who's just loving playing some hoops this year.
Yeah, Nufford finally getting his chance now, being deemed as a Kiwi in the NBL, so he gets to go hard, and really enjoying what I'm seeing from him in Rapid League. He's competing really well. He's very physical, and he's going to be a nice matchup with Sam Dempster. To take a look at our match officials, Corey Hogg, Sasha Nicholson, and Taylor Lynch as well.
And they're not mucking around. We're underway here with the first quarter. So Nelson in the blue, and it's the Bulls in their light purple again as Dempster tries to get active nice and early. It's a bit of a mismatch there with Christian Varno defending there, but he's got his own rebound there. So again, all good for the Bulls.
It's a great shot from Hayden Jones. It's a really pattern shot of his, that one dribble pull-up, and Varno did a good job to stand his ground and, grant Bulls their first possession.
Nicely done by Nelson. Defensive stop there. No foul as they come down court. Nice drive, but not taken. And here comes Coker-Gray for the Bulls. There's Varno again. Defense, he can shoot a 3-pointer, make no mistake about that. Now there's Anderson from deep. Oh, give him 1.5 points for that one.
Yeah, surely there's some kind of count in there. It was lovely ball movement though to create a wide open 3 and rapidly. That's really all you can ask for.
It's man Hayden Jones. What a star of the future he's going to be.
He is an incredible young man. Made the Rapid League All-Star 5 last year, of course, averaging 8 points a game over the last couple of Rapid League stints. He's very impressive.
He's off to Wisconsin soon, isn't he? Lockie Craig's going there, and Jackson Ball's going there next year. It's going to be awesome following them very soon. Yeah, absolutely. Here's Coker-Gray now giving it to Nufford right in the corner. Just overcooked at a touch, and Dempster's got the ball. Here come the Giants again.
And a great ball movement from the Bulls. It's flowing. And Hayden Jones is as well. Get up.
Wide open there. That's just too easy for Hayden Jones. He's got all 5 points so far.
Yeah, you said it right there, Glenn. Just way too easy for Hayden Jones. Beats him off the dribble, and there was just no help available at all. And then another turnover from the Bulls. It's all Giants at the moment.
Here's Jones again. Nice defensive play there from the Giants players, including Dempster again. Whoops. And here comes a fast break for Coca Gray. Take it all the way, and he'll get the foul too and go to the Chemist Warehouse stripe for a couple.
I like that from Coca Gray. Puts his shoulder into Jones and kind of forces Jones to either just allow the layup or foul, and we'll see that on the GJ Gardner Holmes replay. Nice way to use that physicality. It's a good chance now for the Bulls to actually get their scoring underway.
He's a key player in the Rapid League team. He's already averaging 7 points a game, is Harry Coca Gray. Just 20, second year at the Bulls. Mount Albert Grammar. So Coca Gray misses the second. It's a 4-point game. Just under 2 to play. Like the pace that Nelson are playing with. Jones couldn't nail that one. Now, here's a risky pass, but in the end it worked out okay. Now for the block, like that one, but Nelson still have it. And all a little messy, and eventually the Bulls are going to get it.
Bulls did a great job to stick with it there, but so many offensive rebounds for the Giants, just crashing the glass hard and creating those extra opportunities. And you know, you don't want Hayden Jones having 2-3 bites at the cherry in a position.
Indeed. Here comes Hughes for the Bulls. Vunnel. Tight marking by Matthews, and so a little foul. Wasn't too much contact there, but in the end it is going to be a Nelson foul.
Yeah, the Bulls are ensuring that these Giants are switched on. They're trying to force some downhill drives, force Giants to rotate and stay in front. A good job of it so far.
Hughes, right 4. To Vunnel, shot clock down to single numbers. Vunnel puts up the 3. Good off the hand, but not to be.
Nice look though for Vunnel. That's what you want. That one pull up coming off the screen. That's electric for him and automatic. So take that shot all day.
So Dempster's off the court now. Chamberlain is out there now for Nelson. So young lineup, but as we've seen, these guys know how to play together. A little reach in there. And that basket's going to count.
Hayden Jones is such a tough task for this Bulls team. And to be fair, probably a tough task for half of the South NBL as well.
Yeah, absolutely. What a talent he's going to be. It's Jones, so... Oh, there he is, flying in from nowhere. Good defense by Nufo, and he got the rebound. That was tough.
Oh, he's a great rim protector. So long, so physical, and just times his jumps well too.
Bulls really need a basket here. They've only got that solitary free throw to their name until that one from Vunnel. Nice job by Christian. Back to a 1-point game.
Absolutely. Great rhythm shot there from Vunnel. Just took a step in and was wide open. He's going to hit that shot all day. So is Jones. Oh, what a quarter for him.
8 points. No one else has scored for Nelson. And this could be the last play of this first quarter as Vunnel brings it down court again. He can shoot threes too, Christian Vunnel, but not this time. And that will be the end of the first quarter. Pretty good one for Nelson. It's a 4-point advantage to the Giants. Well, should I say to Hayden Jones?
Yeah, Hayden Jones really carrying the scoring weight out there for the Giants. A lot of shot creation for him, and he's been unstoppable. He's a guy that can really do it all.
He's been going great at the NBL too, in the Cells NBL. And of course, speaking of Cells, there's a special this week until next Tuesday, April Fool's Day. It's no joke though, that special, is it? The large Fire Island pizza.
Looks pretty spicy though.
It does.
There's a lot of jalapenos going on.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of spice. You're not?
Not massively, no. Not massively. I could probably last half a slice of that pizza, I reckon.
Well, anyway, scan the QR code and get into it, folks. The large Fire Island pizza is valid until next Tuesday. Just reminding you too that offer from Sky Broadband is still there for you. All you need to do is call 095255 555 or skybroadband.co.nz. $50 a month for the first 12 months. It's a pretty decent deal. for your FIBA.
Interesting to note here as well, the Bulls are running just a 5-man rotation tonight. So it looks like Marcel Jones won't check in, and neither will Flynn Cameron. So these legs are going to have to withstand. These young men are going to have to put in a big shift.
Yeah, I've got to say, I was interested to see Flynn Cameron on the start list today. The Hawks tomorrow don't have any of their Illawarra Hawks players in their squad. But Flynn Cameron, of course, played for Melbourne. The beaten team in that grand final series in Australia is in the Bulls lineup tonight for the NZNBL game. Here's Vanel starting the second quarter. This is Anderson. Nice drive and a good defensive stop there, but that's Nafua at his best.
I like that there from Casey, crashing the glass and actually creating second chance opportunities for the Bulls. They've been one and done for a majority of this game, so nice to see Casey create some extra opportunities and turn some points too.
This is James Matthews. Shot clock down to 8. Nice fake by Chamberlain. And he buries the 3 as well, Caleb Chamberlain. Very nice.
Great move from the young man, recognised the flying defender, and nice to see someone else outside of Hayden Jones get going too.
He won't be happy, Hayden Jones. Almost a steal. In fact, oh, that was close by Matthews.
Yeah, James Matthews, already an impressive resume, like you said. A head boy at Nelson College, was part of that New Zealand under-17 team that came fourth. Also an extremely talented softball player as well.
That's just been lost out of court by Coca Gray. Matthews almost getting in there and nicking it. That would have been the steal of the game. I don't think that steal would have been matched, but it wasn't to be. Here's Dempster. Matthews again gets that screen from Blight. Nice pass and good finish from Dempster.
That is just textbook basketball there. James Matthews rise up like he was going to shoot it. Found the Dempster, who's always in the right spot, right?
That was beautifully executed. Here's Vanel. And that's Anderson again for 3. He's away with that one. And Nafua's had it pinched out of his hands by Blight. And here comes Nelson on the charge again. That's Chamberlain. Ooh. He's going to go to the Chemist Warehouse line for 2.
Look, you don't want to get in the way of this Nelson Giants team in transition. They love to push the floor. We'll see that on the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Caleb Chamberlain, just such a good athlete, so long, such a great slasher, sells the contact well, and that's what you want in transition. This Giants team can just score from, you know, a whole bunch of different avenues, and that's what makes them so hard to guard.
In fact, they ruled it. He wasn't shooting.
Interesting.
I don't think Chamberlain was overly happy with that call, but there you go. Bring it back to Jones. Chamberlain again, and now there will be a foul that time by Coca Gray.
Coca Gray, a tough assignment on Caleb Chamberlain. Caleb Chamberlain recognising that and trying to make him stay in front, get a foul.
Colin Williams is out there now for his first taste of action for Nelson, which is good to see. He's wearing number 6. Here's Dempster. Going to post up on Anderson. No foul. In fact, oh, travel call. He did all the hard work behind, didn't he?
He did, back down, got to the rim, but looked like there was a hand on the ball that forced him to come back down to 2 feet. Kind of one of those things that happens before you can process it, and a great look for the Bulls there, you know, getting a stop and a chance to now slim the lead.
Tough lay up there for Christian Vanel. Here comes Nelson on the break again, but that one's deflected. Bulls won't mind that, but the 7-point game again, they're letting it slip. This Bulls lineup. Here's Anderson in the corner. Largely the defense from Nelson, super tight. Anderson again. High off the glass, no good enough for. He's doing really well under the basket.
He's a saving grace at the moment. The Bulls just really struggling with this switchable Giants defense. All 5 of these guys can defend on the perimeter with length as well. The Bulls just trying to force things in the paint, but Casey Noafo, like I said, just being the saving grace, giving them a couple of extra opportunities and some open looks.
You're not going to get that one either. Now 2 from, what is it now? 2 from 10 from the field in this game are the Bulls, and I tell you what, is that Crate this time nailing the 3? Lucky Crate.
Giants now 4 from 5 from beyond the arc to start this first half. That's a deadly percentage.
Hughes misses that one, and there's Chamberlain with the rebound. Nelson have got the Bulls exactly where they want getting into this final minute of the first half until that pass is pinched by Hughes. Coca Gray. This defence has been brilliant from Nelson. Now, I tell you, that was a fantastic drive from Vano.
We need more of that, right? They had a nice structured offense, spaced the floor well, gone to that two-man game with Vano and Nuafo, which is a favourable side for these Bulls, and that's a great look from Vano.
I think that's Williams nailing that three. Cohen Williams. Good on him. I think looking at that, oh no, he did get some points in last year's Rapid League. His first points of 2025 for Cohen Williams.
Sam Dempster there just committing the foul in the backcourt, trying to apply that backcourt pressure. The Giants is really closing in on the Bulls and trying to make it hard, trying to separate this lead before they head into half-time. The Giants now 5 from 6 from the three-point line.
Yeah, 15 points of the 19 Nelson have scored are three-pointers.
It's tough to guard.
Yes. Vano, yeah, little foul there. Just a little nudge there from Matthews. Right under the nose of the referee.
Definitely appreciate, though, the pressure being applied here from the Giants. You can tell they're trying to force some turnovers and also force some fatigue out of this Bulls team that have decided to run with just 5. It's a lot of basketball and a lot of physicality being applied on them. It's going to run them down eventually.
It's Christian Vano. A really good impression in the Rapid League last year. 16, what is it, 6 points per game? Oh, he's missed both free throws, though, from the Chemist Warehouse stripe. That was not in the script for Franklin.
Not what they need right now.
Here's the last play of the first half. It's Chamberlain again. Give it Crate. Matthews. Dempster. 4 to play. Dempster taking the shot himself there. In the end, he's giving the Bulls a chance. 2.6 left.
Second turnover there for Dempster, just probably easing himself back into this one. Being forced back to the Rapid League lineup to help these young guns. And I believe we've seen a BNZ player timeout, Glenn.
Yeah, tick of the big game is just scanned by that QR code there. BNZ's investing in New Zealand basketball. We want to see you at Cell's NBL games. So get scanning, get in to win tickets to the big games this season.
Rest assured, they are very exciting games too, so you don't want to miss out.
Right, let's see what the Bulls can do here. 2.6. Buzzer beater isn't just the order. Oh, and it's stolen. And a BNZ player timeout's called by Nelson. That very smart play. Who's that over there who did that? It is Lockie Crate. Nicely done by Crate.
Heads up play from the young man. Again, scan that QR code for a chance to win your tickets to the season's big games. Of course, like we mentioned, BNZ inspiring the next generation of Kiwi basketballers. The Giants now, could they go 6 for 7 from 3 before halftime? That would just be outrageous.
Got to hand it to Crate. As soon as he got the ball, then he called the timeout. Nicely done by Crate. Came down to Nelson in the off-season with Liam Judd from Palmerston North. 1.3 left. Dempster for 3. Oh, we wanted that one to go in, didn't we? From Sam Dempster, not to be though, but it's still a very healthy lead for Nelson. At half-time, it's 19-8.
Yeah, they're proving why they both lead the Rapid League this year and won in its inaugural season last year in the Cell's NBL. They just have so many scoring threats, and adding Lockie Crate in that mix, and then the experienced Sam Dempster to just be in the right place at the right time. It's a formidable roster that can score in many different ways. They can obviously shoot the ball at a high clip, 5 from 7 from 3, but they push the ball well. They've got a couple of nice slashes in Caleb Chamberlain and Hayden Jones, and we'll see there on the Chemist Warehouse stats. Christian Vano are just shouldering a lot of the offensive load alongside Nuafo, but not much going on outside of that offensively. We mentioned they are struggling from the field, only 21%, 1 from 7 from beyond the arc, and of course Hayden Jones getting up as well. Lockie Crate, a couple of rebounds, and Nuafo just doing a lot of work on the glass. I believe 2 of those offensive for Nuafo, and a couple of assists, of course, across the board. Dempster, Jones, Matthews, and just 1 for Anderson. No one from the Bulls really moving the ball that forwardly, and block is actually an empty category. Harry Coker-Gray, a big defensive assignment for him against Caleb Chambers. He's done a good job to get his hands in the mix.
Once again, it's all about the teamwork from Nelson, isn't it? They just seem to connect so well, these young players. And as we've seen again, just teams find it so difficult to break them down.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of that is paid to the continuity they have. A lot of these guys have played rep basketball for Nelson together, and then some of them play at school together, and they've been growing up together, you know, putting work in for years. So they're very used to each other in the way they play, and then it's a great system in Nelson, with Mike Fitchett leading the pack there, and just getting a whole bunch of guys to buy into this really cool culture and style of basketball. And now they have Phil Jones, who has been a massive part of developing these Nelson young guys, and they respond really well to him as well. So it's just really all success from all assets for the Giants.
It's a pretty formidable coaching pair, isn't it? Mike Fitchett and Phil Jones, both very good players.
That's pretty unfair to the rest of the league.
Yeah. See Phil Jones getting in there. So it's 11 points, only 8 points to the Bulls in that first half. 4 points in each quarter. They're going to have to score at least 8 points in this quarter alone to have any chance. You'd think probably even more. Way Nelson are going as they get the first possession of the second half. Chamberlain doesn't use Matthews in the corner. In there trying to get the ball, but he's just overreached over Nwafor, and here's the foul.
Positive signs for the Bulls, coming out with a stop, although not a great look to give Hayden Jones a wide open three. Just lucky he missed it.
Just the story of this game, had it dropped, but not to be. Here is Anderson. Nice move from Anderson, and good finish too, as Frank can get the first basket of the third quarter.
I really like that, the little ghost screen there from Hughes, opened up the driving lane for Anderson. The easiest bucket for them today, they just need a bit more of that.
Jones. That was Williams, back to Jones. Oh, blocked and gathered by Nwafor, who's had it nicked out of his hands by Jones.
And Jones takes it back.
That was an unusual period of play.
That's a defensive menace play there from Casey Nwafor, but it's just too easy.
Good pass as Chamberlain nails 2 more for the Giants. He has 5 points in the game, and they lead back to 11. And it could be 13. This could be the biggest lead of the game as Matthews finishes off in style.
Just feel the fatigue through the screen a little bit. First, the Bulls give up that backdoor cut for Chamberlain. I mean, that's what you're giving up when you're playing a zone. We'll take a look on the GJ Gardner-Owens replay. Casey just swallowing that one.
Nice job by Jones, though, as Nwafor didn't treasure the ball enough there. Point game. It's the biggest lead of the game. Funnel to Inbounder. Here comes the Bulls again. Funnel with 5. He's the leading scorer. Going to work off Nwafor there. Funnel just settles for the 3. Can't nail it. Here comes the Giants again.
It's a great word you use there, Glenn, settle. I just feel like that's a 4th shot. Obviously, Vanel's a great shooter, but you probably want to work the ball a little bit more, just like that, for the Giants, and create some better, in-rhythm, wide-open shot opportunities.
That 3-pointer was missed by Crate. Zion Anderson in the corner. Coming out to Vanel. Drives, can't finish, though. Now for the offensive rebound again. And the putback is tidy.
That's nice again. His 3rd offensive rebound, so while his teammates struggle to create and put the ball in their hoop, he's working hard to create some extra opportunities, and you know, it's important that the Bulls capitalize on those, otherwise this one's going to get away from them. 4
points now for Nwafor, and there's the response from Nelson. Was that Matthews bearing it from long range?
6 from 9 in the game. That's just so hard to do anything about.
It's the long range shooting, isn't it? It's been exceptional from the Giants in this game. Funnel. Again, the blue jumpers is just surrounded in a blue cage. Coker-Gray can't nail the 3. And there's Blight with the rebound.
1 for 9 from 3 now for the Bulls. That's a really tough night when the Giants are doing the complete opposite.
Jones, nice move on Coca Gray. Looking for a showtime play there, wasn't happening. Gray flew in from the stands. Anderson. Nice finish from Zion Anderson. That's the second basket that he's got tidy fashion in this quarter.
A nice little volleyball there. Sometimes you just got to do it in an unpretty fashion and just go to work, as James Matthews will pull. And this is the result of playing that 2-3 zone. You're giving up three-point shots, and Nelson are really capitalizing on that. But the trouble there for the Bulls is they only have 5 guys. They kind of have to run a zone, but it's just not working for them.
Wow, Matthews becomes the 5th player to nail a three-pointer in the game for Nelson. Creighton Blight are the only 2 not to have one. Oh no, Craig's got one. It's Dempster, who of course missed that one right on the buzzer.
He'll get one.
We might not see him again in this game, as we see a deep 2 going in this time, and that's come off Blight. It's going to be Franklin Ball, surely. Yes.
Could just see Hayden Jones there communicating to his team. There was a little bit of a breakdown in the offense there. Obviously some leadership coming out of Jones and all of his experience.
And that will be the end of the 3rd quarter, so it's a 13-point margin.
At three-quarter time, 29-16.
29-16, so Bulls did get their 8 points, but unfortunately, Nelson really kicked clear again with another 10. They lead by 13 at the end of the 3rd quarter. In the Sky Broadband Rapidly game, don't forget, folks, at 7:30, live on Sky Sport, we have the NZNBL game for you coming up between these 2 teams. Going to be an interesting clash, this one, with Nelson coming into the game in 10th place, having lost their first 2 games, and the Bulls unbeaten in the first 3, going down to the Hawks in a tight one. So they're 3-1 heading into the game.
Yeah, really looking forward to this one. Loving what I'm seeing from the Bulls so far. The addition of Flynn Cameron, going to be interesting to see what minutes are like for him tonight. But man, the Bulls have some good pieces, and the Giants are going to have some fight here, playing at home and looking for their first win of the season. It's going to be an interesting one and going to be a battle for sure.
I think Nelson are going to fire up at some point, but the Bulls think they have got all kind of bases covered in their squad this year, haven't they? They've got good depth on the bench, good guard. They've just got height, power. They've got it all.
They have height and influential height at that as well. Some guys who can really bang some bodies. Aquera and Gloga been very impressive down low. Tay Hardy's just been absolutely unguardable. The definition of a point guard and someone who can facilitate and score as well. Of course, Marcel Jones bringing that wealth of experience. Not to mention even Ruben Tarangi, and they still have Ethan Rusbadge to come. And the Cameron brothers just adding more diversity to that. It just doesn't stop.
Exactly. Got so much depth there in their teams. A hard job for the Giants. That game coming up live on Sky at 7:30, so stay with us. Right, here's the final quarter now of the Sky Broadband Rapid League game. The Giants in control, looking for their 3rd straight win to start the season. Hughes, he gets hot. Things might happen for Franklin.
Look, we've seen him do it. 6 threes against the Panthers in their Rapid League game a couple of weeks ago. He's definitely someone who can light it up from beyond the arc. Well, to get him a couple more of those.
Matthews, nice kick-out pass. But I tell you, the 3s from Hughes won't matter as the 3s from Jones keep dropping like that.
8 from 12, 3 threes now for Hayden Jones. That zone just killing the Bulls' defense. Too many uncontested 3s for the Giants.
Anderson, back to Vanel. And Jones has 11 points in the game as Vanel just pulls up for a nice mid-range jumper.
Silky smooth up to 7 points is Christian Vanel. He's got to be the main shot creator in this 4th quarter if the Bulls want to come back.
Matthews gets around Vanel. Nice screen there by Crate, but can't nail the basket. And for good, clever play from him. I think that's come off Nelson. It has.
Take a look at that replay as Casey Noir secured his 7th rebound of the game. Just so prominent on the glass.
The dominant player underneath, isn't he? Anderson. Deep 22 coming in from Zion Anderson. That's nice. He has 6 in the game.
It's been better shot making to start this fourth quarter off for the Bulls. A couple of nice pull-up jumpers, and then obviously Casey Nwafo being very active on the board. Boy from Peyton Hughes helped as well. They sit in a 1-3-1 zone, it looks like.
Risky pass picked off by Coca Gray. And there's the outlet play. And the finish is sweet from Hughes.
Back to single digits, Glenn. Getting exciting.
Let's see if this Bulls team can keep it going. That's 4 straight baskets at that end of the court now. Now Matthews picks it out. Is that Jones again, who just can't miss from out there? He's like his old man.
Definitely takes after his dad, Hayden Jones. 4 from 6 now, 14 points on the night. Just punishing this Bulls defense.
That's Peyton Hughes again. Another 3-pointer for him.
Becoming a shootout.
All on. 7-point game again. Bulls need another stop here. Really interesting. It could be down to 4. It's Williams. Jones in the corner. Not 4. No, not this time. That's Crate getting in behind. That's really well done. Nice shot from Lockie Crate.
And the Giants applying a lot of pressure on this Bulls defensive power outside of Nwafo's rebounding, and that's the issue with playing a zone as well. You don't have a man to box out, so you're prone to give up those offensive boards as well.
37-28. It's a 9-point game. Crate's going to check out. These blokes too tired. Jones sitting down too. Dempster back to finish the game. And he looks like he's locked in.
Always. Never seen that man not concentrated and locked in.
Ooh, he almost stole it too right there. Coca Gray. That's a tough shot, but not scored as Chamberlain comes down court. Nice pass, Blights. Oh, blocked by Nwafo. No goaltend either. A few appeals there from some of the Giants players.
For second block of the night, he's just been so active. It's run too long on that 3, but loving the defensive activity from Nwafo.
Now Nelson can control the game, use the clock, soak up some seconds. Matthews again. Matthews, nice drive and pass to Dempster, and a good finish from Sam Dempster.
That's just too easy there from James. He beat that line of the zone, forced to help to step up, and that dump-off pass is always going to be there.
Well, it's been a better second half for sure by Franklin. That's got 20 points in the second half. He scored 8 in the first half. I think they're chasing the game, Myron, and it's pretty much all over.
Yeah, look, it's been a clinic of performance from the Giants tonight, right? They've shot the ball incredibly well, 9 for 14 from 3. They've just been all over it. The Bulls have had a different story. They've scored better in the second half, but just really struggled offensively.
Matthews. So, the game and the time up. And Blight's going to end with a basket as well. That means every Nelson player scored in the game now. And just again, a testimony to how their teamwork is just so clinical.
Yeah, of course, Ben did play a timeout. Scan that QR code for a chance to win tickets to this season's big games. Yeah, like you said, just a team that plays with fluidity, and they move the ball really well. They understand each other really well, and that just comes with that continuity I spoke about earlier. Very familiar with each other's games. They play in a lot of familiar spacing, so just know where guys are going to be at all times, and it's very pretty to watch.
So 3.8 left. One more chance here for the Bulls, perhaps. Nwafo. He's going to put the 3 in and bury it. Nice job from Casey Nwafo. He's had a good game in this rapid game. He's finished with 7 points and 7 rebounds. It's a pretty good effort in 16 minutes of play.
Yeah, love the way he plays. Just plays so hard. Like I said, 7 rebounds and 2 blocks and 4 points to go alongside that. had a lot of defensive activity down low, some tough assignments being in the middle of that zone, and despite the loss, a very impressive performance from KC.
But Nelson get the job done, don't they? 41-31. It's been another very good performance from their Rapid League team.
No wonder they're the defending champions. As we take a look at the Chemist Warehouse stats, Hayden Jones is all over it tonight. He was 4 from 7 from beyond the arc. James Matthews, a nice little outing as well, and then some supporting pieces, Craig Chamberlain and Dempster. Peyton Hughes came alive in that second half, a couple of threes, and of course we spoke about him before, Noir Ford just so active on the glass. Hayden Jones and Lockie Crate with 4 apiece, well, and Dempster, Blight and Chamberlain all active as well.
Really good all-round performance from them. You know, you see the names on that left-hand side just contributing in every statistical category.
Yeah, they're a team that can really do everything.
Half
no,
blocks.
Yeah, he stands alone. He really does stand alone, and we'll just see there as well, banking in the stat categories. A steal apiece for 5 of their players. Koku Gray was active as well, but like you said, this Giants team really just ticks off every category.
Well done to the Nelson Giants. That's their 3rd straight win to start the Sky Broadband Rapid League in 2025. They're unbeaten, remain at the top of the table. Stand by, folks, at 7:30 here on Sky. We've got the NZNBL game coming up between the Giants and the Bulls. We hope you can join us then.
Emergency for the closest fire exit. If a doctor is required at any stage during the game, let's come down to the MC area for any assistance. To stock up, whether it be the Sal's pizza, the hot chips, it is all there. They McRae, the big fella, getting the jukes up. Dempster, 3 ball. Transit.
In the 2016 NBA draft, the Los Angeles Clippers select Bryce
Jones finds a space, up he goes, two-handed slam from Richmond, to Jones. McNaught. Yeah, that'll good from the hand from Alex McNaught. Charles picks it up, goes down, leg shot. Oh, how about that?
Well, welcome to your Friday night basketball here in the Cells NBL. It is round 3 for 2025, and it's the Nelson Giants up against the Franklin Bulls. Looking forward to this clash. Nelson coming into this game 0-2, having lost to the Rams and the Saints. Bulls are going good. They've won 3 of their 4 games, only losing their last game to Hawke's Bay by 2 points. Glenn Lama here, Maya Williamson with the call for this one here on Sky Sport, and that's the tale of those two teams, isn't it, Maya? Interesting to see the Giants not winning a game. They're always a competitive side. Are you surprised they haven't won in the first 2 rounds?
I mean, they've had 2 really tough games. They came up against the Rams and then the Saints, and the Saints are just on fire at the moment. They are 2-1, 4th on the ladder there. So they've had 2 pretty tough games to open the season, and they are there or thereabouts, but just still finding their feet, I think.
Yeah, the Bulls are going great. They've got so much depth in their team. Nelson really need to win in this game here to stay in touch for, even though it's early days, you need to stay in touch with those teams above them. It's you don't want to slip too far off the pace of 3 losses in your first 3 games, as the Auckland Tuatara. And who's on the bottom?
Panthers.
Yeah, Panthers, yeah. Well, here are the other games coming up over the next little while. There's plenty of basketball. Double-header tomorrow. We're in New Plymouth, the Ayers-Hawks game. The Sharks hosting the Jets. Both games coming up tomorrow. And then we're in Sunday. We've got games in Christchurch and Auckland, with the Giants flying up to play the Tuatara on Sunday.
It's going to be a good matchup, and if they don't get a win here tonight, that could definitely be a winnable game for them. And the Rams Saints, yeah, that's the one I'm looking forward to. You know, being a Cantabrian myself, that's a massive pride game for them. And I think Carl Bowen back in for the Rams as well, so it's going to be a goodie.
Well, it's lucky we're not commentating that game, because I'm a Wellingtonian.
Oh, there'll be some fighting going on in the commentary booth.
Here's the Bulls starting 5. No change from their last game against the Hawks. It's Hardy, Tarangi, Okwera, Cameron, that's Tobias Cameron, and Till Gloger, the German. And let's hear now from David Okwera, who's doing a good job for the Bulls so far this season.
Here with Franklin Bulls, David Okwera. David, welcome to New Zealand. How's the transition been in terms of adapting to the culture, everything that's going on?
No, it's been fun. I mean, it's a great experience. I'm definitely in a different area compared to where I was in Australia, more countryside. But no, I'm enjoying it. Boys have done a great job, you know, inviting me to the environment, and you know, I'm adjusting well.
And you guys coming off a tough loss to the Hawke's Bay Hawks. You're playing against the Giants tonight, who are still searching for their first win. What was the focus leading into camp for this week?
Yeah, I mean, you know, last game was a tough one. You know, we were up a lot during the 3rd quarter, and we just, you know, we let them back in the game. That game was really on us, so this game we've got to come in, learn from last week, and perform well.
Cheers, David. All the best for tonight.
Yeah, David Okwera going pretty well for the Bulls. He scored 13 points at 43%. Mean 3-point shooter too. He's going at 50% there. Here's the Giants starting 5. Alex McNaught, Jalen Forbes, the American, Liam Judd, the former Jets player, Callum Dalton, the Aussie, and Bryce Johnson, the former NBA draft pick. So a pretty solid lineup. Oh, I can see centre being misspelt on the right-hand side of that graphic there. The E and the R around the wrong way, Richard. Yeah. Thank you. Speaking of Bryce Johnson, do you want to hear from him now, or I think we've done enough rehearsing him?
Yeah, I'm happy.
I'm happy. Always happy, Tia. Always.
Stoked.
You know me, bro. Come on.
I came up off the rap, no prices for $1 million contract.
Of course, plenty of chances to win through the night tonight. But there's some pizza still. Not forgetting, thanks to NBS, the shoot for cash, in fact $1,500 up for grabs for two different charities, one taking away $1,000, the other taking away $500. And looking forward to having a legacy dart back in the stadium tonight to entertain at half-time. Can we get both teams to the benches, please? Both teams to the benches. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the hangar. Welcome to the Trafalgar Centre. Here we go. Game 3 of the NZNBL for the NBS Nelson Giants. Game 2 at home. You guys ready to go? Firstly, a big welcome to the Franklin Bulls. Number 3, Marcel Jones. Number 5, Harrison Coker-Gray. Number 23, Casey Narcourt. Number 24, Peyton Hughes. Number 25, Zion Anderson. Number 4, Christian Vano. Number 21, Flynn Cameron. The starting 5 for the Franklin Bulls tonight. Number 1, Tay Hardy. Number 7, Ruben Taragi. Number 10, David Okwira. Number 11, Tobias Cameron. And number 18, Till Glogger. Your team. The NBS Nelson Giants not suiting up tonight, but here in support. Sponsored by Van der Man, Cooper Adams. Also Aston Inwood. Individual player sponsor NMIT. On the bench tonight. Sponsored by On Farm Agri, number 35, James Matthews. Number 13, sponsored by Roscoe Contracting, Hayden Jones. From fielding, number 15, Lockie Crate. Sponsored by GRE Services, number 16, Will Blight. Number 7, Caleb Chamberlain. And of course, sponsored by New World Stoke, Captain Sam Dempster. Your starting 5 for the NBS Nelson Giants tonight. Naughty, sponsored by Resource Alex McNaughts. Sponsored by Richmond Aquatic Centre. Number 5, Jalen Forbes. Number 67, individual player sponsor Helen Ruston, Casey and Co, Liam Judd. Number 51 from Brisbane, Callum Dalton. And of course from North Carolina, number 11, Big Bryce Johnson. Your NBS Nelson Giants for 2025. Big thank you to the referees for the night's game as well, the NZNBL referees. Brought to you by Barnacardo and Coyne, Corey Hogg, Sasha Nicholson and crew chef Sharon Martin.
Well, hello everybody, and thank you for tuning in for live action here on Sky Sport, the NZNBL, the National Basketball League for 2025, and it is the Nelson Giants, the home team here, up against the Franklin Bulls in round 3. Look forward to this match. as Nelson continue the quest to try and win their first game of the season. They've dropped their first two. Can they get the job done tonight? Not going to be easy against this Bulls team, who are 3-1. Glenn Lam with the call tonight. Maya Williamson alongside here. And yes, tough losses to the Rams and the Saints for the home team, but the Bulls have been super impressed, just losing the one game so far to the Hawks at the weekend. And Nelson's going to have to pull their socks up, you reckon?
Yeah, it's a tough gig for the Giants. They've had a couple of tough games, obviously, playing the Rams and then the Saints. Your two opening games being those two teams, that's a pretty tough start to the season for them. And then it doesn't get any easier with this Bulls squad, man. They are looking so tough. They cover all bases offensively and are really good defensively too. Adding Flynn Cameron to the mix, that's going to be a tough gig for the Giants tonight.
So with that loss to the Hawks, it saw the Hawks move to the top of the table. The Tauranga Whai have made a fantastic start to the season as well, but all three teams travelling pretty well at the moment. Can the Bulls get it done on the road this evening with the Saints and the Rams just lurking behind, although they play each other, as we're about to find out in the next game. And there's Nelson at the moment, and also winless at the moment, the Auckland Tuatara and the Indian Panthers. Usual to see the Tuatara down, struggling a little bit to start the season after some good seasons in the last couple of years.
Tuatara, yeah, like you said, typically a very strong team, made the grand final last year. But the return of Rob Lowe this weekend and possibly Dave O'Hickey as well is going to completely change the tune for them.
Yeah, of course, Hickey given the MVP, wasn't he, by Dellavedova the other day after the ANBL final. Here's the schedule here in New Zealand for the next couple of days. We've got double headers coming up tomorrow and Sunday. The Airs hosting the Hawks, the Sharks and the Jets. That's always a interesting clash from Invercargill. And I've got no doubt that Rams-Saints game is the one you've got your eye on.
And you too, being Wellingtonian, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Saints all the way.
Rams all the way.
There we go. Lucky we're not doing that game. Tuatara hosting the Giants. So a quick turnaround for Nelson as they get on the plane after this game tonight to head up to Auckland to play on the North Shore. Here's the starting five for the Bulls. No change to the starting five from the lineup that took to the court against the Hawks. So we've got Hardy, Tarangi, Okwera, that's Tobias Cameron. His brother Flynn is on the bench though. Till Gloger is there, the big German centre. Expecting another big game from him. Let's hear from David Okwera.
Here with Franklin Bulls, David Okwera. David, welcome to New Zealand. How's the transition been in terms of adapting to the culture, everything that's going on?
No, it's been fun. I mean, it's a great experience. I'm definitely in a different area compared to where I was in Australia, more countryside. But no, I'm enjoying it. Boys have done a great job, inviting me to the environment, and I'm adjusting well.
And you guys coming off a tough loss to the Hawke's Bay Hawks. You're playing against the Giants tonight, who are still searching for their first win. What was the focus leading into camp for this week?
Yeah, I mean, last game was a tough one. We were up a lot during the third quarter, and we just... we let them back in the game. That game was really on us, so this game we got to come in, learn from last week and perform well.
Cheers, David. All the best for tonight.
Yeah, the Bulls favoured on the mixandpick.com, as you could just see. Okwera's going great, isn't he? 13 points per game at 43%, 50% from the three-point line, throwing 9 rebounds and 3 assists, 2 steals and a couple of blocks. He's got all bases covered.
And doing all those things at only 22 years old as well. A lot of experience for him in the ANBL already, but yeah, like you said, just does a little bit of everything, finishes well from around the rim, can shoot the ball really well, and has been super physical. A couple of throw-down dunks as well, just to make some highlights.
Absolutely. Here's the Nelson lineup. Alex McNaught, Jalen Forbes, Liam Judd, Callum Dalton, and Bryce Johnson. You see, he's just taking it easy through the warm-up. Let's hear from Bryce Johnson right now.
Here with Nelson Giants, Bryce Johnson. Bryce, fresh off a 25-point, 11-rebound performance. Obviously, you've come off a massive injury. So how's the body, how are the lungs feeling after coming back from that?
At first, it was a little weird, but right now I feel pretty good. This past week, I got in the gym with our strength coach and did a little bit more cardio, so that helped out and starting to feel a little bit lighter as the day is going. So I'm feeling pretty good right now.
And the Giants still searching for their first win of the season. Got the Bulls tonight at home. What's the big focus this week leading into this game?
Just be ready for their punch. They're going to punch us. They're going to be very aggressive on the defensive end, and we got to be able to contain that and be able to handle their pressure. And then I think we should be able to use our shooting and our ability to get to the rim to be able to try to put us over the top.
Cheers, Bryce. All the best for tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, Johnson's been going at 18 points a game, 10 rebounds. Of course, he's played NBA for the Grizzlies and the Clippers back in the day. And it's awesome that Nelson have picked up an NBA player to join their squad this season. Now, let's have a look at some key matchups here. What about that Hardy-Johnson scoring battle? That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with Hardy. He's a point guard that can facilitate and score at the same time. 22 points a game for him and 6.5 assists as well. So really just doing the best of both worlds. But Johnson leading the Giants in both scoring and in rebounding as well. He's been unstoppable. Obviously, that NBA talent, you just can't beat it. Interesting for me, the turnover rate for the Giants, very low, despite losing both games. But for the Bulls, just need to contain themselves a little bit more. And I know Sebastian Gleim mentioned that a couple of days earlier. I spoke about their prowess defensively and how that's been no issue for them. But it's going to be the offensive end tonight for them, whether they can contain the ball and just find some more fluidity in their offense.
Yes, indeed. They were rattled a little bit towards the end of that game against the Hawks. The Hawks got under their skins a little bit. It was quite an impressive performance from the Hawks because 5 minutes out, I was thinking the Bulls were going to get it done, but they didn't. So an opportunity to see what the bounce back's going to be like here from the Bulls. Sherman Martin, Corey Hogg, and Sasha Nicholson are the officials for this evening. Don't want to lose 3 in a row. It just starts to get in your head. Why, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is a very composed Nelson Giants team, and Fitch has been in positions like this before. And you can just see there on the mix and pick poll, the Bulls just the heavy favourites for tonight, and it's expected considering the Giants' win-loss record at the moment. They definitely have it in them. Just finding their feet a little bit. You know, Liam Judd sliding into the lineup now as well, forcing Alex Bernard to just being a floor general. It takes him out of that scoring role that he kind of had to take on his shoulders last year. Jalen Forbes coming in the mix as well takes that pressure off Alex McNaught. So sometimes there can be teething processes when you change your lineup a little bit, and it's expected. But like you said, Glenn, they wouldn't want to go 3 losses on the bounce. That's just a little bit too harmful for the momentum. And you know, going into a game on Sunday, they obviously want to get a little bit of momentum behind them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jalen Forbes is the key player, isn't he? He's, I think for Nelson, he's the one that's not quite hit his straps just yet. And if he can get going in this game, then I think the Giants will have a much better chance.
Yeah, I think their recruitment was based on him being a little bit more of a scorer than he is being right now. Only 8 points a game for him. Hasn't hit a 3 yet, and he is known for being a capable and willing shooter. Shot really well in his college career. So once we see him light it up from beyond the arc, and maybe all he needs is his home rims, things could change for these Giants for sure.
Well, here we go. With this game about to get underway, so lots of dynamics at play here. Of course, we haven't spoken about Flynn Cameron, who's on the bench for this game. Just, 5 days after his Melbourne United team lost Game 5 and lost the Australian NBL title to the Illawarra Hawks. What part is he going to play in this game? It's going to be interesting.
It's tough to know how many minutes he's going to play, and he's, in our impression, is healthy and ready to go. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of position he takes on and how many minutes he plays behind Tay Hardy tonight.
So the Bulls in the white have the possession of the tip. And here is Hardy. Cameron straight away going to work. That's Tobias Cameron. Hardy, nice play into Gloga. Ooh, and now he was nailing those jumpers on Saturday against the Hawks. This is the first one.
Oh, that's a great look for him and for the Bulls as well. If you can get him sealing and that nice little baby hook that he loves, you'll be encouraged to take many more of those.
Forbes with the ball. Space stolen. Ball pass, and there's an easy jam for Aquera.
Statement made on the first one.
Statement dunk there for the 22-year-old out of Perth. Just reads that passing lane like it was yesterday's paper, and a nice slam for the highlights as well.
Forbes. Let's see what Nelson can do here. Dalton's missed that one. Here comes Aquera. Play at a high pace, but he's been stripped of the ball, and McNaught has it.
Good stop there for the Giants, getting in the lane of Aquera and just getting their hands in the mix as well. If they can force him to play with a little bit of physicality and hands in the mix, it might make him a little bit more difficult.
It's bounced on the baseline. As Judd was the target of that pass. And Aquera ready several highlights from David Aquera. We're only in round 3.
Such a good athlete. Slam it down for sure.
Space on that right flank for Cameron. Now Hardy. Aquera again. He can shoot the threes we mentioned in the build-up, but that one was way off target. And there's Gloga tidying up for the Bulls.
And that's why they recruited Gloga. He's so good on the offensive glass. Just creates second chance opportunities, finds himself in the right space, and has a knack for the ball.
Start for the Bulls are up by 4 early. Nice pass, and there's Forbes. Cutting to the basket brilliantly off the pass.
Bryce Johnson with the experience as well, doing a good job setting that back screen, set up for Forbes. It's always nice when you can start your scoring with a nice open look like that after a couple of empty possessions.
Hardy. Will be a nice settler for the Giants. Cameron works off Aquera. Gloga up high. Shot clock down to 8. Hardy almost lost his footing. 3 on the shot clock for Ty Hardy, and he's missed it. Taken by Judd. Here's McNair. Johnson posting up on Gloga. Fading away goes Johnson. Not to be.
Good shot for Johnson though. Gets that one-on-one isolated catch in the post. Just what he likes, and that's a favoured shot for him. Seen him make plenty of those.
He almost had it stripped out of his hands by Judd. Good to see Judd's back with a mullet still from last year.
Mate, I don't think he's ever going to get rid of that.
Here's Cameron. Tobias Cameron, nice strong move. He gets his first 2 of the game.
What a step up he's had this year. I know that he came into the Bulls with an expectation that his offensive load may increase a little bit more, and he's taken that in his stride. Such a good slasher. Good job of getting to the rim. Loving what I'm seeing from him.
Speaking of slashing, there's some stuff going off the ball there. I think Cameron's going to concede the foul there. Well, he's just like his old man. He's tough.
Of course.
So he picks up his first personal. Dalton. Whoops, communication breakdown there. And those sort of little turnovers will irritate Mike Fitchett, the coach.
For sure, you can see the intention there, trying to move themselves and the ball well to create some nice advantage opportunities for all our guards trying to attack downhill, but Callum Dalton just couldn't handle the pressure there on the perimeter. He's going to have to do a better job at being a lot stronger if they want to create those advantages.
Tarangi, marked by Judd. Good match up in the game. Looking off Aquera, goes Ruben Tarangi. Dalton's got it for Nelson, but it might have been another foul. Bulls will retain possession.
They've even stepped out of bounds as he tried to rebound that one. We'll see that on the G.J. Gardner-Holmes replay, and I just believe Dalton may have stood on the baseline there. Classic big feet.
Speaking of big feet, there's Aquera with his mid-range jumping skills, and there is another 2 for Franklin as they lead by 6.
Aquera up to 4 now as well.
Like he could have a big game here as Johnson.
Bryce Johnson.
Yes, Bryce Johnson for 3. Keeps Nelson in touch. Hardy. All the way goes Tay Hardy, and he's fouled, and he'll go to the Chemist Warehouse stripe for 2.
Hardy's so nice at getting downhill, just so shifty and smart with the way that he uses his body and uses a change of pace to just find a gap, gets himself to the Chemist Warehouse stripe. You see that on the G.J. Gardner-Holmes replay. Just so shifty, all on a string. It's just nice to watch.
Yeah, they have so many offensive threats. Flynn Cameron is out there now. So we haven't waited long before Flynn Cameron gets out on court for his first game of the 2025 Cells NBL. Hardy gets 1 from 2. Franklin just struggled a little bit from the Chemist Warehouse stripe against Hawke's Bay. Arguably, you could say a cost of victory.
It's one of those things that it's 3 points, right? And they're currently sitting at 69% from the Chemist Warehouse stripe across their 4 games, and it's a lot of points you're leaving out.
to the Franklin Bulls.
Soft turnover there too, as Nelson get possession back through Alex McNaught. McNaught again. Riding strong. Not to be though, as Aquera picks up the rebound. All the hard work there, and there's a foul from Forbes.
I like that take from McNaught. You know, he's putting his head down and he's trying to be aggressive. He's trying to create opportunities at the rim, but just a little bit hard when you're undersized. I can say that, being 5 foot tall myself, but it is a little bit harder to, you know, go through the contact and finish. And of course, on the flip end, Jalen Forbes giving up that foul to stop Tay Hardy from getting to the rim.
Flynn Cameron to inbound it. Here he is, Flynn Cameron. Can't roll in his first 2 points of the season. As Johnson picks up the ball, and here comes McNaught again.
How good for Cameron, though, being able to snake and get an advantage left-hand layup on your first play.
Judd loses it. Here comes Aquera on the break. Hardy. Nice play to Aquera. This is good play from Franklin. There is the Nelson Giants calling an early timeout in this one.
We'll see that on the replay again. So patient from Tay Hardy. Just knew he had teammates coming, didn't force it. Could hear Mike Fisher calling the timeout before the ball even went through the hoop. He just knew there's some issues and some holes going on here for the Giants. Just the Bulls scoring at will here. Like you said earlier, Glenn, just so many scoring threats across the floor. Like, you got Flynn Cameron coming off the bench, and he's a prolific scorer and someone that's very confident handling the ball too. So the Giants has got to be across all bases at the moment, and currently they're not.
Well, they're struggling to contain Aquera in particular, aren't they? Who looks pumped for a big game here. David Aquera already has 6 points in the game, taking 2 rebounds.
Not to mention, that's more than the entire Giants team so far, and it's been 4.5 minutes. Had a couple of unlucky toilet bowl finishes, but for them, they want to create some better uncontested or advantage looks for them. Alex McNaught getting his head down and going to the rim is one of them. You know, that you want to see more of that. Just a lack of fluidity in their offense right now, and they just aren't finding the looks that I'm sure they're desiring.
Shooting the ball at 25%. Nelson just 1 from 4, and Franklin rolling on nicely, 5 from 10 early in this game. Can do with this play. McNaught execute a good offensive play here.
Mike Fisher would have had some colourful words for them in that timeout, I'm sure.
Johnson getting rid of Gloga, and Johnson with authority.
Well, just what the doctor ordered. Mike Fisher would have given them a right rack up, and Bryce Johnson has answered.
He's doing his best. He's got 5 points, and now Nelson have got more possession coming.
And that's great for the Giants. They come out with a big slam and immediately get a turnover. That's much better for your momentum, and just puts Franklin on the back foot a little bit, gives them a little bit of a scare, and they've got a lot of momentum to work with now.
Forbes to inbound it. Judd. Johnson. Let's give the ball to Bryce Johnson. Almost double teamed there. Dempster from long range. And that's fallen for Forbes, but there's a whistle. Sasha Nicholson. And it's going to be, I think, Franklin ball she was pointing. What's happening here? Yes, it will be.
Must have been on the rebound there.
Flynn Cameron. 36 games for Melbourne United in the just completed season. 5 points per game. He averaged 12 minutes a game. Good, solid season for Flynn Cameron.
A couple words exchanged between the young gun Flynn Cameron and the vet Sam Dempster. You like that competitive edge. Sam Dempster switching out on Flynn Cameron, just trying to give him a little bit of a rack up. You can tell the Giants here just trying to be super physical, not allow any paint touches.
Well, both Camerons are out there now for the Bulls. Interesting to see the dynamic of play here for Flynn Cameron. Hasn't had too long to get used to life as a Bulls player, but I tell you what, pure basketball, natural talent like that should come through.
Doesn't need much time to adjust. Flynn Cameron's so good at getting downhill. He is elite in that two-man game. Finishes well on his left hand. Yeah, that's just what you need for the Bulls. Another little edge to their offense that's already pretty complete.
Long range. Forbes nails the three. That was impressive. We've been waiting for that for 2 and a bit games. And there's his first long ranger. There's Tobias Cameron looking to counter straight back here. Flynn Cameron almost loses possession. Wow, some three from Forbes. There's Hardy, looks to respond with a similar three. He's off target. And Judd's got it.
This is a great example of the Giants just taking that timeout and utilising it well, capitalising on their advantage and momentum coming out of that, as we see an almost turnover. But Jalen Forbes hitting his first three of the season after coming out of college and shooting 40% in his senior year. He's known for his confident shooting, and so good to see him finally see one go through the bottom of the net. So good for not only him, but for the Giants as a whole.
Chasing the four is out there now for the Bulls. Dalton. Jones has lost it. No whistle either. Is Cameron. Welcome back to NZ, Flynn Cameron.
No jet lag, no fatigue, nothing for Flynn Cameron. Just straight back to it.
Great steal. Here comes Cameron again. Oh, lovely pass to Hardy. Smashing time here at the Trafalgar Centre. And who's that? It's Hayden Jones.
Is it Hayden Jones or Liam Judd? May have been leaping Liam Judd. Good thing for a GJ Gardner home replay. I think it's both of them.
Yeah.
Double block, a block each.
Let's give them one each. But that's great action at both ends of the court. Cameron. Enough for now. It's Hardy. Marked tightly by McNaught by that screen though. Hardy got out of it. Good pass out to Aqueta in the corner. He's throwing an air ball, and there's Cameron with a little hacking foul.
Got to give credit to Hardy for creating that wide open look for Aqueta. Just put Alex McNaught in jail, found his advantage, saw the help come across. You can't complain about a wide open corner three in basketball. Just wasn't capitalised on, and now the Giants a chance to take it to 2 or 3 at best. Teetering on a 5-second violation, and there it is, Glenn.
That was tough for Sam Dempster, but you got to credit the Bulls. That was pretty impressive from them.
It's a great answer to getting a turnover. It's just stop right back, and now they have a baseline inbound, which is perfect for them. Oh yeah, the little heel on the line. Classic.
Well spotted by the officials. Tobias Cameron walking back probably thinking, do they paint those lines here in Nelson just a little bit wider than other courts around the country?
It's rigged. It's rigged.
It's Jones. Marked by Ruben Tarangi. Dempster. They're hustling Sam Dempster at the moment.
Just looks behind him to check, just to make sure.
Oh, he was up, sir. No, it wasn't. Dalton with his hands on the ball. Tries luck posting up here on the forearm, winning the battle quite comfortably.
Wasn't the fastest move in basketball history, but that was effective. Had that one-on-one situation with Noafor. Noafor doesn't want to get in any foul trouble, so just backed him down. Nice finish off the glass.
First 2 points of the game for Dalton. Tobias Cameron. Himself in a little bit of trouble there, and he's going to throw a half-court violation.
And that's why coaches coach to play off 2 feet. Execute the fundamentals. Love the fact they're getting deep hand touches and try to create kick-out looks off of that, but there was just no chance that was going to anyone there for Tobias Cameron. And again, a great stop for the Giants.
Also getting a little sloppy at the moment, or just as I say that, they get the ball back again through Flynn Cameron. And now Tarangi, plenty of time to line up that 3, and he nails it. Ruben Tarangi.
Wow, wow, wow. Can't wait to see how the season pans out with those two playing together, as we'll see a foul called there defending the ball screen. How good is Flynn Cameron, though? Just such a good creator. He's so effective downhill on his left hand, and just found Ruben Tarangi in a split second, a bullet pass, and Ruben Tarangi just doing what he needs to do by knocking down the open corner three.
Lockie Creighton bounds it. Now Dalton again. Tightly by Lafour. Weak by him. Now Jones. Crate over to Forbes for three with 5 on the shot clock. Dempster. Now, who did that come off? Come off Sam Dempster. It's going to be Ball's ball.
5.5 rebounds a game for Sam Dempster so far. You can always trust that he's going to be crashing the offensive glass. Just the ultimate glue guy, Sam Dempster.
Yeah, he's a competitor, isn't he? Loves it. Here is Cameron. That's from Cameron again. Nice pass. And there's the basket from Jones, just being missed. And now here comes Nelson. He's going to cut the 6-point lead again. Dalton thinks about a three-pointer. And that's a timely little touch there from Tobias Cameron.
They've done a good job at ramping up their physicality on Dalton and applying some pressure to force him to turn the ball over, or at least get it out of his hands, and he's struggling just a little bit with that pressure.
Jones to inbound it. Just over a minute to play, and now we've got an offensive foul called against the Giants. We're not number 15, that's Lachlan Crate.
Taking a look at that, the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay, and oh, clear as Dagley.
The Cameron brothers at their best there.
I was so elated after that one. Tobias Cameron just trying to get the crowd involved, flexes and everything.
They taught Crate a lesson. Here is Marcel Jones. Now Flynn Cameron going to settle it down. Shot clock down to 9. Cameron. Nice rotation out to Tobias. Then he lost it stone cold. What happened there? Did he have soap on his hands or something?
Wipes his hands from the sweat. It's a great look for the Bulls. The split kick extra wide open for Tobias Cameron, but just sells the play.
Lovely pass into Dalton, but he couldn't handle it. Here comes Tarangi. The last 30 seconds of quarter number 1. Tarangi almost loses it. And the Bulls kept possession there as Cameron. Gives it to Tobias Cameron now, and that's a lovely three-pointer from Tobias Cameron.
I think that's what he was meaning to do in that last possession there, makes up for it. Again, great job moving the ball to get him open.
That was a messy play, but a great shot. 4 seconds here, and a foul from Flynn Cameron on Lachlan Crate. Payback there for Crate after the illegal screen earlier.
Good to see the match officials keeping an eye on that. I know there's been a lot of key emphasis being placed on the legal screening positions this Sal's NBL season. So great to see the match officials are sticking with their word.
2.7 left. Dempster. Oh, he buries the buzzer beater. And boy, Nelson needed that. A 9-point deficit at quarter time. It was looking like, looks much better for Nelson being 6 down. That was a gem.
Sam Dempster, clutch as always, looks unfazed too.
21-15 at quarter time here in Nelson.
Principal sponsor of the Envious Giants, running the Envious Hoops for charity in all home games this season. Round of applause for Keeper, please, ladies and gentlemen. Keeper, run down. The Theatre Royal. Note he's shooting for Suga Art Gallery. At the other end, Boston Darling at 10 years old, who will shoot for the Theatre Royal. I'm going to give them 45 seconds to get as many shots. The one that takes the most takes $1,000 for their charity. 3, 2, 1, go. You got to keep counting each end. Give me a cheer from each end when one goes in so I know where we're at. I think the Cupid's got one. Looking for another. And I don't think this is 10-year-old Boston Darling down the end somehow. Maybe that is. Still looking for a basket. 30 seconds gone. The one with the most takes 1,000. The other takes 500. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last shot up down that end, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. What do we get? We don't know. What do we get down here? We don't know. Somebody's going to win. 5 down this end. How do we get down that end? 10, 12, 17. I think we know who's right, so
second quarter not too far away here in Nelson. It's the Giants, the home team, trailing the Bulls by 6. Leading scorer in the game so far for the visitors is Aquera with 6. And we've got 2 players on 5 points each for Nelson, Forbes and Johnson. But one thing we've picked up on the stats in the first amount of turnovers Nelson have conceded.
Just unbelievable. 10 turnovers in a 1 quarter for the Nelson Giants, resulting in 16 points from turnovers for the Bulls as Bryce Johnson gets that easy bucket to go. That's much better for the Giants, but, you know, combined with a lack of scoring and a struggle to score, that many turnovers in a quarter is just unacceptable.
Consequently, of course, Franklin put up a lot more shots. Thankfully, though, for Nelson, the score is still tight. And there's a foul by Johnson on Gloger.
Gloger just so good with his offensive spacing, knows where to be in order for his guards to find him, stays out of that defensive window. You can just see him right there, knows his spacing and takes that contact well. I think the way he plays his role for this Bulls team.
Johnson disappointed. That's his second personal foul, really, in the second quarter. So this is Paul Gloger at the line.
Only a 60% free throw shooter, Gloger.
Seen out here, though, isn't it? 32 years of age. And he gets that one. So Nelson Brains trust, get to work.
Definitely not the Here's trust, that's for sure.
I didn't say that, you did.
Yes. You can clip that.
Here's McMillan. Getting the screen from Dalton. Well defended, though, by Franklin again. Forbes in the corner. Looks like he wants to shoot, right? Back goes Cameron. And Forbes buries the 3. He's starting to heat up.
So after not hitting a 3 across his first 2 games, he's hit 2 back-to-back here. First and second quarters for him. He looks elated. He's finding his rhythm a little bit more. And this could change the dynamic slightly for the Giants offensively. We'll see that on the replay. Just drops Tobias Cameron there. A little celebration there from Jalen Forbes as well.
Mike Fitcher was arguing that was a flop too from Cameron. No call on that one as we see Tarangi. Good signs for Nelson though. That lead is back to 3. It was 9 at one point for Franklin as we see Hardy. Nice pass. And Gloger wide open, ain't going to miss that.
Love the offensive structure there from the Bulls as well. Had Ruben Tarangi running the point, which means that Tay Hardy can move off the ball and become a shot creator. That's the depth that this Bulls team plays with. They've got Flynn Cameron, Tay Hardy, and Ruben Tarangi who can run that point, and the other guys become scorers. Oh, there it is.
Late call by the official, but there's the charge on Tobias Cameron. Seeds his second personal foul. Sasha Nicholson had a good think about it, didn't she?
Yeah, a little bit of a delayed one there, and Tobias Cameron was certainly not happy about that one.
Well, she was unobstructed view, though, as Nelson get the call. Enjoying the coverage of this round 3 NZNBL clash between the Bulls and the Giants. Here on Sky Sport, this is Callum Dalton, the Australian. Trying to work on his fellow Aussie, Aquera, and he gets the job done nicely there, this Dalton.
Love the footwork from the big man. Very patient down low, uses his counter moves to perfection, brings it back to 3 and forces the Bulls to call their first time out of the game.
Nice job by Dalton, that's 4 points for him. Didn't play in the NBL in Australia this season. He was up in India playing for Hyderabad, but he has got experience for Melbourne United. And there's that left hand working nicely for the 24-year-old from Queensland.
I liking what he's bought. Unfortunately, won't stay the whole season with the Giants, I'm sure, as they still await the arrival of Callum McRae. And boy, will that open things up for this Giants team. He was electric for the Sharks last season, just so good at being a facilitator. Not necessarily a rim runner, but that's where the counterpart of Bryce Johnson comes in. And I just think that's that missing piece the Giants need right now. But looking pretty good tonight.
They're showing a bit of guts and courage, aren't they, Nelson? It felt like early on the Bulls might run away with it. And who knows, that might still happen, Maya. But Nelson have rolled their sleeves up, doing the mahi nicely at the moment.
100%, definitely probably not the favourite as we saw it on the mix and pick poll before the game. But a team that's always going to put their guts out, always going to battle hard, regardless of what the result may be. And we know for a fact that teams have to battle it all the way through for the points percentage. Could come down to points differential as we saw last year for that last playoff spot. So it's really important incentive for these guys to continue playing to that last minute anyway.
Exactly, every basket counts, even in the Rapid League. He's on the points for and against. Quetta inbounded off the timeout. Some wise words said by Sebastian Gleim, and whether those can be implemented. I tell you, some good half-court pressure, and there's the steal, and look out, it's showtime. Well, 2 3-pointers now jammed for Jalen Forbes. Feeling a lot better about life in Nelson tonight.
Up to 10 points for the import, really having the game that he's needed to have.
That hurts. Dalton from long range. And Nelson hit the front for the first time in the game.
Who would have thought? After a rough, slow start, they've just found some kind of offensive rhythm that's working for them here. Forbes stretching the floor a little bit with his now scoring. Dalton popping off with 7 points now as well. They look fluid.
Momentum off the timeout. Nice play. Quetta responds in kind.
And that's the answer that you're looking for, right? Get that two-man game with Tay Hardy. He's bound to create something. And a wide open lane with Quetta is exactly what you want. An easy answer.
8 points for Quetta. The pass, I think that's come off Funnel, who's out there now. It has.
What a coaching duo that is, Mike Fitch and Phil Jones. DJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Oh, what's that, 3 dunks already for Quetta?
There's Crates going to work. The youngster, the New Zealand under-17 rep from last year. Boy, there's some good under-17 players in New Zealand at the moment. Crate being one of them.
4th place at the World Cup, just unbelievable. Jackson Ball, part of that team, leading the league in scoring at the moment. Of course, Giants teammate Hayden Jones in that squad as well.
He's been on fire, Hayden Jones. Now Quetta, a bit of a mismatch there against McNaught, and no surprise, there's 2 more to Quetta, who goes to, let's have a look here, 10 points. First player in the Bulls team to hit double digits. Forbes loses it. Now what can Tarangi do here? Quetta, yeah, settles for the 3. And Dalton's got the rebound. And Forbes, who was seagulling down there after falling down, has got 2 more. Worked out okay for Nelson.
Look, not a bad idea there for Forbes to get a couple of easy points on the board, extend that momentum just a little bit more.
There's a foul. Interesting to see who that goes on against. Is Alex McNaught fluent? I'm not convinced he got contact there. That might have gone on Forbes, and it did.
Second foul of the ball game. On the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Yeah, Glugger just get in that favourable position again. He's just so good at sealing, getting into the right spot. That gets him some kind of success. You know, if there hadn't been a foul, likely would have been a bucket.
Jones checks back in. Tarangi. By Judd as McNaught takes a tumble. Hardy. Tarangi for 3. It's a way off target that time as Dempster tidies up for Nelson.
The Giants will be happy to concede that 3, I think. A contested 3 for Tarangi is not one of his strengths. So they're happy to give that up, I think.
Dalton, beautiful pass to Liam Judd. And that's a good finish. First 2 points of the game for Liam Judd. Now, he's a heavy scorer when he gets going as well. And this is quite a second quarter for Nelson being fashioned up here. They're outscoring the Bulls at the moment, 18-8.
Like I said, they just really found something that's working for them offensively. They're moving off the ball really well. I mean, Liam Judd slashing and going back door, getting that easy lay. We saw one from Lockie Crate as well, and then a little bit of success from beyond the arc also helps. I think we spoke about this before. Jalen Forbes being able to move into that scoring position now, up to 12 points for him. We'll see that nice little back cut again. Nice finish from Judd there, but like I said, Jalen Forbes actually stepping into his role as a scorer just opens things up so much more for the Giants.
Well, the last time the Bulls called a timeout, play was disastrous following it, because of course that's when we saw Nelson pick up 2 steals, score from both, and take the lead in the game. Lots of pressure here for the Bulls.
Giants with the lead by 4 points.
I'd like to see Flynn Cameron get back out on the floor, opting to keep him on the bench as Sebastian Gleim.
Just as you say that, Maya, he's coming back on.
Oh, there you go. Look at me.
You should be coaching.
Putting my coaching hat on. Yeah. Well, Gleim is leaving at the end of the season, so maybe I'll chuck my CV in.
There you go. What have you got to lose?
Exactly. Yeah, if I miss out, I'm not bothered. I'll just come back to the commentary booth.
Here comes the Bulls again. Now Hardy. Not going to plan at all for the Bulls in this second quarter. It's Hardy. Rogan picks up the offensive rebound, gets it back to Flynn Cameron. Again, it was untidy, wasn't it, from the Bulls. Cameron again. Fade away for him, and again, well defended by Nelson.
You just feel the Bulls are stepping outside of their offensive identity a little bit now and just trying to force things that are working for them. There was a tough look for Tay Hardy initially, and then Flynn Cameron, that wasn't such an easy shot either. The Giants doing a really good job making them uncomfortable right now.
Timing of the pass not good there. Noquera's off to again. And there's 2 more for David Aquera. Lead is back to 2. Yes, despite Franklin's offensive, as you say, not really connecting there at the moment. Foul is going to go against Nelson there. Still only a 2-point game.
You feel this one is definitely going to be a grind out. The game against the Phi for the Bulls was only a 60-point game. So, you know, they're a team that does really well defensively and then sometimes struggles to find that fluidity offensively, and Giants can be the same too. So this might be a little grinder to the end, and, you know, that's what you like to see.
Here's Cameron. Cameron for 3, short on that one. Beautiful offensive rebound from that forward. There's Hardy. Oh yes, he's going to the Chemist Warehouse stripe for a 3-point play.
Well, a tough finish for Hardy, but all credit's got to go there to Noafo, who contested well on that offensive rebound. There he is, getting up 7 rebounds in the Sky Broadband rapidly for Noafo. Just so active on the glass, setting his teammate up for success.
So Hardy. Great game offensively for him so far as he misses the free throw. So he's 1 from 3 from the line now. 1 from 5 from the field in the game.
The team's leading scorer and sits at only 3 points. Has shouldered some facilitating load though. 4 assists for him so far tonight, so shifting his focus slightly.
Hardy.
From the outside, taking the long shot.
Cameron away with that one.
Getting the rebound.
Dempster tidying up, and here comes Alex McNaught.
It's quite nice hearing the voice of Fitch there, just yelling travel, cover play calls.
Oh, nice. McNaught coast to coast. He finished first 2 points of the game for him.
Love that from McNaught. So good in the open lane like that. He's so quick in transition, finds the lane really well. Just does it when he needs to.
Hardy. Cameron tries again. He's smashed this time. Interesting to see who that foul goes on. Might have gone on Liam Judd or Hayden Jones. Take your pick.
Again, Flynn Cameron just getting into the paint whenever he wants. Getting paint touches and creating for himself. He's obviously taken the understanding now that he needs to get to the rim and score while the Bulls are in a little bit of a slump. He's happy to do that.
Cameron, free throw shooter in the NZNBL this season for Melbourne United, 85%. It's not too shabby. And he gets 2 from 2 for his first visit to the Chemist Warehouse stripe in this game. Tie ball game. Just under 4 to play. Ignored again. Judd, nice early ball into Dalton. Again, Callum Dalton finishes stylishly.
Dalton, I feel like he's had 7 points of that same look, just back down at the rim, and nice little easy finish off the glasses. Tobias Cameron just buries one from the corner. Now the ball's back out in front. It's lead changes galore.
Beautiful shot there from Tobias Cameron. He has 8 points. Dalton's lost it. Here's Aquera. Aquera! No whistle, and Dempster's picked up the ball. Here comes McNaught again. Judd! And that is going to be a foul against the Bulls. Judd had the accelerator to the floor there.
Despite Flynn Cameron beating his case for that one, I think it's actually not a bad foul. Liam Judd is a great slasher. No doubt he was going to break through that double team and get to the rim for an easy 2 or even a highlight reel slam dunk. So, you know, not bad to stop his momentum and allow them to set up defensively, as Flynn Cameron will go back to the bench. It's foul number 3 on Flynn Cameron. Oh, am I looking at the wrong thing? Oh,
no, you're
foul
not.
Number 3.
Definitely with 6 points. Norchic's out of the game as well. Oh, beautiful plays. That's a foul against Tobias Cameron, who might also be in a little bit of trouble as he picks up his 3rd foul.
Oh my gosh, the Cameron brothers today feeling a bit handsy. But again, Judd just doing what he does best, just slashing, finding a backdoor cut. He'll head to the Chemist Warehouse. Been very impressed with Judd. 2nd leading scorer in the team, 16.5 points a game over their first 2. And leads the league currently in 3-point percentage, 66% from the young man.
Here he is, Judd. Good player for Manawatu last year. Good pick-up by the Giants this season. But, just as I say that, he misses the 2nd free throw. Here comes Hardy. Gloga, a little uncertain in possession there. Tarangi. And there's an illegal screen set by Gloga.
We spoke about that. The emphasis is being put on that legal screening position, sorry. Gloga just probably moving his feet a little bit early. And that slump continues offensively for the Bulls.
Actually, I think the foul went on Tarangi there.
Oh. Hard to see from our seat.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did. Keep an eye on that one as we see Jones come down court now for the Giants. Crate. Dempster. Here's Judd again. The lane opens up for Liam Judd, but he can't convert, and here's Hardy. Keeping the pace of the game up, Tay Hardy. Still going to be Bulls ball with 19 on the shot clock.
Nice hands there from Lockie Crate, just does it cleanly without fouling.
He misses. Here comes Nelson. Really tightened up defensively. They've only conceded 17 points in this quarter. Good effort, but there's still 2 minutes to play. Now Johnson fancies chances here against Gloga.
Bryce Johnson turns.
Not to be this time, though. Here comes Tarangi.
Relatively quiet night so far for Bryce Johnson, but that's a desired look for the Giants. I mean, he's really good operating out of that post position. It's a nice takedown hill from Tarangi. That's what he does best. Tough finish for the Tall Black.
Tarangi now has 5 points. Timeout called by Mike Fitchin. There's 1:44 left. I guess both teams critical now for them down the stretch of this first half. Not to let things slip here.
Yeah, and important that they execute on both ends of the floor, and that's the little things. That's looking after the ball offensively. It's putting your offenses that are going to get advantage looks for the guys that you want. I mean, right now for Giants, you can tell they're looking to go for Liam Judd getting downhill and Bryce Johnson as well. And for the Bulls, that could be a wealth of guys. Tay Hardy still looking to get going. Liking seeing Ruben Tarangi in the mix as well, so it's going to be important for them to offensively just find those looks for the guys that they want to close off the half well.
Line with those all-important words is Hampton Nelson, who fought their way back into this game. Stolen earlier, the biggest lead that Franklin had was 9. Now it starts with Quetta though, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 3 steals and a block already. Back on court now to end this first half. Coach Guine really working over the officials and not happy.
He's a very expressive guy, Glime.
Yeah.
Love watching him on the sideline and love hearing Fitch as well. We've got 2 very expressive coaches.
Jalen, he Forbes it brilliantly there. Dempster for 3. Logan's got it for the Bulls. Now Hardy. Pretty well to keep possession there to Tay Hardy. Got rid of Hayden Jones eventually there.
I thought Jones did a really good job to stay in front, contain and roll up. But Tay Hardy just getting him there in the end, just lifted him slightly up and under for the tough finish. That is just scoring prowess at its finest.
Forbes for 3 again. And Hardy's got it. Nice little finish perhaps here for the first half for Franklin, as we see a Quetta with a little running jumper, not falling, and Jones has got it again.
It's a nice look just off the back rim. Can't do much more about that. You don't complain about that look, you just got to make it.
Forbes. Nelson need a basket here. Those 2 trips down haven't been fruitful. Here's a 3-pointer attempt from Crate. He's away. And here comes Tarangi. It's got a little cold down the stretch of this first half. Tarangi, that's too easy.
Nice little Gortat screen there from Gloga to allow that lane for Tarangi. Seeing him get going at the end of this first.
Nice little 6-0 run for the Bulls. 10 seconds left. Here's Dalton. Pass to Jones down low. Is that Crate?
They do look similar.
They do, don't they? It's Lockie Crate. Nelson needed that. Tough finish for Crate there.
Yeah, nice pass from Dalton, was it, up top to just float it above. Crate's a phenomenal athlete, just rose above, catch that one and finish it off the glass. Like you said, well needed for the Giants.
BNZ player timeout called with 1.2 seconds left in the first half. Scan that QR code right now, folks, to get in to win tickets to the season's big games, thanks to BNZ, proud supporters and investors in New Zealand basketball.
Harlem Globetrotters-esque.
Wasn't
yeah,
it?
but Tay Hardy. And yeah, just see he slightly lifted Hayden Jones out of position and allowed him to go up and under on the opposite side. And a tough finish off the glass too.
Right, let's see what happens here. Loga steps back for a 3 and not going to fall. So it's going to be a 4-point game at the major break to the visitors. Played that last minute of the first half pretty well. It is Franklin up over Nelson here in Nelson, 44-40 at halftime.
The canteen is open and the bar is open as well. Semi springing food from wine from Hunter's Wines as well. Hot dogs, hot chips. So available in the canteen. And please welcome onto the court for your halftime entertainment. Legacy Dance to offer classes for all ages from 2 years up to adults with classes of jazz, ballet, contemporary, acro, music theatre, hip-hop, There is something there for everyone. You can jump on, check out their website at legacydance.co.nz to find out more, or head along and check out one of their trial classes. Tonight, performing a Legacy's mini performance company, 12 dancers aged between 9 and 12. Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause, Legacy Dance.
Thank you for staying with us here on Sky Sports. Sal's NBL action for 2025 round 3 between the Nelson Giants and Franklin Bulls. It's Franklin up by 4 points at the break. They were outscored by 2 in that second quarter. Managed to wrestle back control a little bit towards the end of it to grab that 4-point lead. Let's have a look at the Chemist Warehouse stats here at half-time. We've got a couple of stars showing up points-wise. Maya, haven't we already?
Yeah, Quetta having a really good start to this game, and Cameron, Tarangi, and then other Cameron and Gloga all contributing there as well. Jalen Forbes really finding his feet offensively, shooting the ball well from beyond the arc for the first time this season. Dalton as well, a couple of nice little looks. Johnson still yet to get going at the level that we know that he can. For 7 points for him and some contributing factors. Hayden Jones with 5 quiet rebounds. Didn't expect that one. Gloga, of course, who else would be topping the stat category in rebounds for the Bulls? Tarangi also getting in there. Quetta, you're going to see him in a lot of stat categories here. And then, of course, Dempster, Judd, Johnson, and Dalton for the Giants. All he's going to contribute. And Dalton up to 6 assists. He's been playmaking out of that perimeter position, just finding some back cuts. And McNaught, of course, the point guard, up to 3. Tay Hardy's had a tough gig in terms of scoring tonight. Only 5 points for the Bulls' leading scorer, up to 4 assists and a block each for Judd and Johnson. Surprisingly not seeing a quitter on that stat category, but there he is. 3 steals. Nwafo up to 2, and Gloga with 2. Tarangi and Cameron 1 apiece, and McNaught, the defensive menace, up to 2 as well. Lots coming off the page at us today, Glenn.
Yeah, interesting to see how the Cameron brothers work in the second half too. They're both on 3 fouls as well for Sebastian Gleim, so that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out in the second half, which is not too far away from starting here in Nelson. And it is the Bulls up 44-40. Stay with us on Sky Sport.
Ladies and gentlemen, give them a round of applause. Legacy Dance. LegacyDance.co.nz if you do want to find out more.
Not too far away from the second half starting here in Nelson. Giants and the Bulls. Round 3 of the Cells NBL. Mind you that the Giants won the Sky Broadband Rapidly game 41-31 earlier on in the evening to remain unbeaten in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. As the MixonTech.com still told, the Bulls still favoured to win. So you add the 1 and 8, the 1 to 8, 9 plus together, you watch that 76%. That margin's actually increased. Giants win just 24%. I don't know, Amaya, my brain is telling me that the Giants are still with a chance here.
They're only down by 4. Don't lose that much faith in them this quickly. It's definitely a winnable game for the Giants. They're looking nice, and of course, coached by the absolute genius that is on your screen, Mike Fitchett. But they look good, especially in that second quarter, just found their feet a little bit. Looking fluid offensively. They're using guys in different ways than they were before, and the ball is just being put to a little bit of an offensive stop. They really struggled in that second quarter.
Yeah, Mike Fitchett in his 6th season coaching the Nelson Giants. See Jeff Green, the old custodian, assistant coach, one of the assistant coaches to Sebastian Gleim, himself a pretty successful coach back in the day for teams like the Hutt Valley Lakers in the NBL.
Sure is a name that everyone knows around New Zealand basketball.
Still involved in the sport, Jeff Green, of course, a former Breakers coach, of course, the inaugural Breakers coach back in the early 2000s.
Probably before I was born, actually.
They were fledgling days. Not long after New Zealand, of course, finished 4th at the World Basketball Champs.
Those two right there, and that team, I believe, as well, Mike Fitchett and Phil Jones.
Phil Jones was certainly a key man in that team.
Not to mention Joe Reddish as well, an assistant coach with Sebastian Gleim. A few years into his assistant coaching career with the Bulls as well. Believe they have Samara Funnel, who's not present tonight, but lovely to see a Wakine being an assistant coach in the men's league too.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike Fitchett just letting the opportunity slip there. They did all the hard work to come back from that 9-point deficit. Got into the lead a few stages during the second quarter there. Nelson, their leader was as big as 4 at one point. Just a little cold down the stretch. Can't afford that to happen again. In terms of key players for Nelson, I don't know, I think Bryce Johnson feels like he's under kind of performed a touch. Hasn't seen a lot of ball in his hands.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Bulls have thrown a lot of bodies at him. He's getting a double every time he catches it in the paint. So, you know, not surprisingly, he has facilitated a little bit and got the ball out of his hands. He's doing a really good job at finding shooters or cutters off that post position. He's only up to 7 points, averaging 18 a game across his first 2 outings. Impressed with Callum Dalton, who's just doing what he needs to do so far. Off the bench, Sam Dempster with 3 and Lockie Craig with 4. Surprisingly, Hayden Jones yet to score, who had 12.5 points over his first 2 games. So plenty of basketball still to come for the Giants.
Third quarter underway.
Giants straight away in a 2-3 zone.
Giving it a crack. Now that's been turned over and Johnson's got it. Starting pass from the Bulls as we see McNaught. Back down to Dalton. In the first half, I think he would have nailed that one as Hardy comes away. And Hardy rolls that one in over Forbes to extend the lead to 6 again.
He's so good at just stopping on a dime and getting that little floater to go. Such a nice touch on the front of the rim. As Alex McNaught, speaking of touch, that's nice.
It's a nice response from McNaught. He's got 4 points in the game. Hardy. Well, it's all the point guards at the moment.
Hardy, that is the Tay Hardy that we know and love. Such a good shot creator for himself. Find that little step back in the mid-range. That's just butter.
Yeah, it's Bryce Johnson with the lane wide open.
Pretty much a carbon copy of McNaughton.
Hardy again. Oh, blows by Alex McNaughton. Here's Gloger off the left hand.
Fitch had his hands on his knees after that happened. Tay Hardy became a scoring threat immediately after scoring back-to-back. Attention went to him and he just facilitated right to the open Gloger.
Johnson for 3. He started the half just like we were hoping he would.
Must have heard us talking about him, Glenn, because he has come alive, like you said, in the second half, just getting some more favourable looks.
Hardy, the lane closed that time. McNaught did well. Hardy creates space, but can't finish this time. Johnson's got the rebound.
McNaught containing well there, sliding his feet, staying in front, allowing a bit of physicality and then just walling up.
Almost stolen by Tobias Cameron, and he's done enough. It's Tobias Cameron at his best.
Here we go, get a stop.
Just relentless.
Yeah, does a great job in those passing lanes, disrupts, not allowing an easy catch for Judd, who's effective cutting back door or ripping off the catch.
Tarangi trying to find space, and a little foul by Johnson, who concedes his 3rd foul.
Tarangi so good at using that change of pace, attacking the hips of the defender. Look at that again. You see he drops his shoulder to Johnson, forces him into be a position where he's a little bit late and has to foul there. Johnson definitely not happy about the foul that was called. Tarangi, though, will be stoked. That 7 points tonight. First trip to the Chemist Warehouse stripe as well.
Yeah, there hasn't been too many visits from either team to the Chemist Warehouse stripe. The Bulls 5 from 8 in the game, and Nelson 1 from 3.
Good game to good game.
None from 2 for Tarangi.
Tarangi misses both free throws. It's Dalton. Judd back to Dalton. One three-pointer in the game, Callum Dalton. Roll that one in. Oh, Judd. Great commitment there from Nelson to fight for that.
Judd starting that hustle off right, got on the floor. McNaught taking after that style. We'll see that again on the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Just see two dives from the Giants. First to the floor always wins. Great job for the Giants, and I think they're going to earn themselves another position too. Could even it up here even.
Good stuff from Judd. Nice from Liam Judd so far. 3 points, 2 rebounds, but he can get hot. It's a career high in the NBL of 30 points against the Saints, playing for Manawatu last year. Here is Dalton, giving it to McNaught for 3.
Another one.
And don't get a pause and play with Hardy.
Worked out well for the Giants. I mean, Tay Hardy was chasing over that little give and go action there, but him falling over created a wide open look for McNaught. Couldn't sink it, but that's the kind of stuff that the Giants are looking for, trying to find some kind of advantage out of that give and go game. Trusty floor monters on the job as per.
Essential part of basketball these days, aren't they?
That was me back in the day, Canterbury Rams. I've really worked my way up.
Yes, Taragi. Aquera rolls away. Hardy. Gives it back to Gloger. Long-range two-pointer is good from Till Gloger. He's a good player.
And that's why Tay Hardy is so good as well. He just attracts so much attention when he gets in the paint. It allows for open opportunities for guys like Gloger, who just follows the ball with intelligence, as the Giants will just fire that one out of bounds. And then it kind of feels like every time they're coming back, it just pulls away again for the Bulls. They're just there and thereabouts, but never in front.
That's right, and it's of their own making a lot of the time too. Oh, a turnover going against them there.
16 turnovers in the game now for the Giants. Slowed it down after turning it over 10 times in the first quarter.
Stuff from Nelson to win the ball back. Alex McNaught. Dalton. Here's McNaught. And Hardy. Nice pass into Johnson. That's good. Johnson. Wow. Disappointed he didn't nail that as Hardy goes on the break. Cameron back out there to his bro. And Tobias Cameron can't nail the three this time.
It's a good look though. Cameron shooting well today. He was 2 for 3 before he shot that one.
Oh, he's travelled there.
Turnover number 17 for the Giants. Can't capitalise on earning these positions. It was Bryce Johnson missing 2 bunnies. Then a careless travel at that for Jalen Forbes. You can just feel the energy flat in the Trafalgar Centre at the moment.
Yeah, especially if the Bulls can capitalise from that. As we see Tobias for other Flynn Cameron working off Gloger. Oh, that's beautiful from Flynn Cameron. It was him at his best there. He's got 8.
You didn't think there was a lane there, but there was. So slippery and slimy is Flynn Cameron, just so good at getting in the lane, somehow putting his way to the rim. They need a little bit more of that. We'll see that on the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Loving this two-man game that he has with Finn Gloger at the moment. Sorry, Till Gloger at the moment.
Nice from Flynn Cameron. Giving up the foul. It was just his first foul as we see Forbes at the free throw line. Sam Dempster. Forbes drives. Off the glass, doesn't fall, and here's Tobias Cameron. Nice pass to Aquera for 3, and he buries it. David Aquera, 15 points.
His first 3 on the night as well, after shooting 50% coming into today. Finally found the bottom of the net from beyond the arc.
10-point game, and it's going to go against Tobias Cameron, so he's got 4 fouls now.
It's a tough position for the Bulls to be in there, leading by 10, but not so comfortable and plenty of time to go today. See it on the replay. I thought he did a pretty good job there, but just sitting in that charge circle. No complaint there from Tobias Cameron, who will make his way to the bench.
He's going to sit down on 4, as I touched on, with 8 points, 3 rebounds. That's the thing. I mean, Tobias Cameron checks out and Ruben Tarangi checks back in. They are a deep squad, the Franklin Bulls team.
Not a bad little exchange, eh?
Exactly. Ruben Tarangi, how many games has he played for New Zealand? 71. Bit of a vet these days in the Tall Blacks, debuting all the way back in 2013 now.
He's had a long-winded career, Ruben Tarangi. 2 ANBL titles with the Breakers in 2013 and 15 as well. Great to see him come out to Koei after being with the Auckland Tuatara the last couple of years.
Nelson having those 2 free throws from the Alex Moore. They had not got to the Chemist Warehouse stripe too often. That was just a second visit in the game. As we see Flynn Cameron again.
Oh,
That is all class from Cameron.
again, just to his left hand. So smooth, finishes so well. I think the scouting report would be to force him right, but he just finds a way.
Dempster's got his hands on it. Nice little play from the vet.
They trail by 10, so definitely needed that stop and will look to capitalise as well.
Jones and Crater back on, as is Dalton. Johnson and Forbes are out of the game for the meantime. Jones rolls it to Dalton. Shot clock down to 3. Tough shot there for Callum Dalton, and then now here comes Hardy. There's a foul. Either Jones or Crate.
Hardy just slipping and sliding, forcing Crate and Jones both to turn their backs. Had no favourable position in front to be able to guard Hardy. We'll see that again, just the way he pushes the ball and forces Jones and Crate to be out of position and eventually just succeeds in the foul.
Mike Fitchett's going to call a timeout. 10-point game. It's going good for the Bulls in this third quarter. They're outscoring the Giants by 15-9 in this quarter so far.
17 turnovers for the Giants. Shooting at solid 52% from the field, 46% from the 3. Significantly less shots taken, 11 less shots than the Bulls. Dalton slowed down a little bit in this third quarter as well. He was pretty good in the first half, just some solid contributions across the board, but nothing from him in this third quarter. And Flynn Cameron coming alive, 10 points as well off the bench for the Bulls.
If you take this quarter so far, what we're 4:16 left in it, and maybe the last 90 seconds of the end of the first half hasn't really gone to plan for Nelson at all.
Well, we've seen a few careless turnovers for the Giants and then just some very empty offensive possessions. And defensively, giving away some fouls and some easy buckets. I mean, it's nothing that's surprising. Cameron's going to drive left and Tay Hardy's going to get downhill and create. It's nothing that they can't be expecting. And I believe we could see Franklin take their biggest lead of the game with some made free throws.
First one's in and out.
From the Chemist Warehouse stripe continue. They're 5 from 10 in the game now.
Tay Hardy for a second.
It's 1 from 4. Yes, an 11-point lead is the biggest lead of the game. Got a full court pressure too from the Bulls. I like it. Crate. Hayden Jones. Back to his buddy Crate. Nice spin move. Oh, Lockie Crate. He's a good young player.
And I believe we've seen a technical foul on Hardy for flopping. Looked as though Corey Hogg awarded that. We'll see that on the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay.
Interesting call that, because Go back to the first half when Tobias Cameron was in a similar circumstance and didn't get called for a flop. Mike Fitchett was right under his nose. He was furious it wasn't called a flop.
So that from another angle. And you just see the tee awarded there from Corey Holt on the baseline. Oftentimes teams are given a warning. They're aware that the next flop will be a technical foul, and that's what's happened here.
Yeah. Well, there was no hesitation from the official there as Hardy checks out of the game for the meantime. 10 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, just on 2 fouls. Out comes Dempster to take the free throws. He's been 18th season for Nelson.
Every season since 2008, bar that 2020 showdown. The most loyal that it gets, really.
Awesome. And he still loves it, doesn't he? Flynn Cameron. Tarangi. Tarangi putting up the 3 and nailing it too. That was really nice from Ruben Tarangi.
Scouting report is that he's not primarily a shooter, so they weren't carrying a hand. He noticed that advantage. The shot clock was winding down. A smart decision there from Ruben Tarangi. He's actually shooting a decent 30% clip over the first 4 games. He's up to 10 points now.
Another miss there from Nelson, which really hurts them. Great. Now Tarangi might fancy his chances again here. And there is some contact off the ball there. Looks like that one's going to go on Cameron. That was on Marcel Jones. Flynn Cameron.
I believe it's on Lockie Crate.
Yeah. 3rd time lucky. Yes. Tarangi. Cameron. Cuera. Shot clock. Did that get away in time? It didn't.
And that's just that little bar. Sorry to interrupt you there, Glenn. It's just that little bar there. Flynn and David get to play with each other. You can see Cameron was wanting that ball back, but Cuera looking for the shot himself. Just those little inconsistencies that you start to smooth out across the season when you get used to each other. But we're going to see a few more of those while they figure things out.
Nelson need a basket here. Hayden Jones going to provide it. Not to be. Another day that drops again. They're missing a lot of those sort of opportunities in the game as Cameron comes down court again. Marcel Jones can't nail the 3.
Marcel Jones only even played 4 minutes tonight. And on the flipping, Hayden Jones, that was his first shot attempt. Some very uncharacteristic statistics.
No basket, as Dempster was fouled before he passed it.
Like you said, Glenn, the Giants needing a bucket here. All good and well drawing these fouls, but they need to capitalise. Just gain a bit of momentum and chip away at this lead. Franklin just sitting at that 10-point mark for a few minutes now.
Dempster's going to go back to the line.
Hayden, Hardy, lead.
Shot that technical foul free throw a moment ago from the Chemist Warehouse stripe.
Hayden, slow, that's good. Hard dive.
Hayden Jones having a tough day, isn't he? Getting the offensive numbers that we've seen from him in the first 2 games. He's averaging 13 points a game. Hasn't scored in this game yet.
And only the 1 shot attempt, notably as well, had 14 points in the Sky Broadband Rapid League. Not long before the tip-off here in NZNBL. We know he can score it, we know he's comfortable, just hasn't seen a lot of the ball.
Nice play from Tarangi there, created space for himself really well. He's been fouled. Tarangi, one of 5 Bulls players now in double figures. 4 of the 5 starters. And Flynn Cameron off the bench. Tobias Cameron's the only one the starters that hasn't hit double figures, and he's scored 8 points as well. So the scoring shared around nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we spoke about that depth of the ball. We've spoken so many times to the fact that they have so many offensive threats in their own different ways. Tay Hardy with 10 points and 6 assists. Ruben Sarangi just a ruthless scorer. David Aquera has gotten going. Slowed down a little bit most recently. Till Gloga has been just in the right positions. And here's Tay Hardy almost falling on the corporate table.
Man had finished his drink.
Definitely seen some terrible situations like that. Don't want to spill your beer.
Forbes finally back on after that rest, and there's Dempster for 3.
Oh.
Right for Sammy D. Here comes Hardy. Hardy's flying everywhere there, and it's an offensive foul. Johnson having a long rest too here, Maya. It was more of a collision than anything.
Yeah, Jones just gingered to get up. Bryce Johnson, like you mentioned, 16 minutes for the big man so far tonight. And in the most respectful way, he is 30 years old, right? So, you know, it starts to take a toll a little bit on your body once you get to that point. Plenty of professional seasons for him. Puerto Rico, Italy, France, Ukraine, and Japan, as well as, of course, the NBA. You know, he's been everywhere and probably just starting to feel the effect a little bit on the body. And I'll definitely preserve him for later on down the stretch.
North back on in the meantime. Dempster. Nice play from Dalton. There's a foul surely from Hardy.
It's 3 fouls now on Hardy, giving that one up against McNaught. I just love that off-ball action from the Giants. Need some more of that. They space the floor really well.
How about that here?
Fantastic. So good. Love it. It's really one of the best hairstyles we've seen.
The best. So McNaught goes back to the line.
Hardy will check out as well, just preserving him. Don't want to get him in any further trouble than he's already in. Going to save him for the fourth quarter.
Naughty, get Ruth. Naughty, you got Ruth. Jay, you got 10.
Love the instruction here from Fitch on the sideline too. Sasha Leder.
McNaught continues his 100% record from the Chemist Warehouse stripe. The lead back to 9. Again, the Bulls looking to finish this quarter with a flourish is Flynn Cameron. Tries to get rid of Lockie Crate. That's Flynn Cameron. Oh, yeah, smashed away. Jones did well by waiting just for that moment before hit the rim. McNaught. Here's Forbes. On 12 points. Nice cut there from Dalton. Another 2 points goes begging for Nelson.
The Giants, they're getting great looks, right? That's a wide open catch off a roll for Dalton and a good putback for Dempster, but just can't find the bottom of the net.
I reckon that's 3, maybe
at least
4 shots in this quarter alone. That's a nice drive to the hook. Talangi reckons he was fouled too, but there's no call. Talangi having an excellent game. He's on 14 points now. Dalton for 3. Yes, his second 3 of the game, and that was much needed.
You could just feel the crowd rejoicing as he banged that one home. It just kind of started to feel as though the strings were being pulled apart. That's a great answer from Dalton and a good little settler there. I want to say the score should be at 59, or am I wrong?
There it is, just clicked over as Cameron drives with 3, but he's travelled. So it's going to be 1.4 seconds for Nelson to try and do something here.
And that's what you want. A good look from beyond the arc from Dalton and a stop down the other end. This is better from the Giants.
NZ player timeout's going to be called straight away by Sam Dempster. So get your phones out and scan that QR code now, folks. Ticket to the big game is still going from BNZ. your chance to win tickets to season's big games here on Sky Sport and the Cells NBL. BNZ, of course, proud supporters and investors in New Zealand basketball.
I like this timeout from Sam Dempsey. They don't always have to take it in the fourth quarter, right? He's going to leave that to Fitch and try to get a nice look here to close the gap and make a mark on this momentum that they already have.
Forbes gets it away just in time. No, didn't count, or wasn't going to count anyway. But there is the third quarter done and dusted. It's an 8-point game to the visitors as they go to the break after quarter number 3, 67-59 ahead.
Slices, 5 for each side. Welcome on, ladies and gentlemen, our contestants. As many as you can. Your time starts now. First one up to Cooper. Freddie's in and out. Freddie's got the first. He's coming back. Cooper's got his first. One slice each. Okay, back to get another one. Second one in for Freddie. Cooper's still looking for that second. Keep shooting, Cooper. Don't worry about what's going on this end. You want another one? You want another slice? I'm going to give him a couple more seconds. Keep going. Chance for one more. One more. Pop it in there. You've got time for one more shot. That's it. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a round of applause. May have stuck him another one as well. Cameron and Freddie, give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. The Cells NBL Steel. The Cells NBL Steel. Now available at all Cells pizzerias across New Zealand. A combination of their famous New York pepperoni, classic cheese and delicious coloured knots, all laid up in a deal that'll make you dribble.
Fourth quarter about to start here in the Cells NBL between Nelson Giants and the Franklin Bulls. From a period during the second quarter, is in front. Hasn't been a dominant performance from them though, and Nelson still in with the chance. Maybe they need to have eaten some Fire Island pizza at the end of the third quarter to get their butts into gear. What do you reckon, Maya?
Yeah, a bit of jalapenos may put the ball in the hoop for the Giants.
See if they've got the fire in their bellies here, Nelson, as they try and get their first win of the NBL. Remember, they've lost their first 2 games. The Bulls at 3-1 as Johnson gets going early.
Then we were just speaking about the fact that the Giants were just struggling to put their favoured looks through the bottom of the net. And Johnson comes out and bangs home a mid-range, which he loves to take. That's a way more encouraging sign for the Giants.
Kloger, he just doesn't miss when he's in that much space. He's up to 12.
Yeah, and on 66% shooting for Gloger as well. Again, such a good job following the ball, finding his known spacing, and then just getting nice, uncontested looks out of that.
Nort trying to work off Bryce Johnson. And that's beautifully done. Timing was exceptional.
Oh, threads the needle, does McNaught. Did a good job to stick with it there. Handled the ball and the pressure well. And I love those back cuts for the Giants. They're always open when they move off the ball. So nice to watch.
6-point game again. Here's Gloger, marked by Forbes. 4 on the shot clock. Oh, he's lost it. Here comes Dempster, who's had it stolen by Marcel Jones. Here's Hardy. Woo. A chance for Franklin. Untidy again, though, for Tay Hardy. Here's a quitter. Trying to work on Crate. Can't allow one. And Johnson's got the rebound.
The Giants, a great start to the quarter for them. They've looked good offensively now. They've found their spacing and the movement that they like, and then defensively actually getting some stops. The Bulls just trying to play some one-on-one basketball right now, not working out in their favour.
Marcel Jones fouls Alex McNaught. court time in this game. No points, 8 minutes. He's putting up 2 shots. There's the game MVP, the mixandpick.com poll, and Flynn Cameron leading the way at the moment. I think there's some fans who are happy he's back in Aotearoa.
Great to see Flynn Cameron back in the Sal's NBL. 10 points off the bench, and Sammy Dempster going downhill on one of the guys that might be one of the only players older than Sam Dempster in this league. Marcel Jones. And surprisingly, Glenn, only 8 minutes off the bench for Marcel Jones, who had 15 points in their loss against the Hawks on the weekend.
It's good to see Dempster and Jones going at it there. Combined ages of 73 between those two. Has to be said. Someone had to say it, so it might as well be me. I'll tell you what, they're both playing pretty good.
Yeah, good save. Good save.
Dempster with 7 points now. Perfect from the Chemist Warehouse stripe in this game.
He's an absolute veteran, Sam Dempster. He is made for these kind of moments.
4-point game. Nelson leading this quarter 6-2 as Hardy's fouled now.
Loving this McNaughton-Hardy battle. They're just going at it. Both point guards being extremely physical. McNaughton a little bit too much as he's slow to get up, or hasn't even got up at all. Hardy taking a little bit of responsibility on his shoulders and attacking downhill. We'll see on the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Just goes around that hard show, up into the contact. McNaughton just too late to rotate.
He's done something to his groin there.
Maybe he was hit with I think he was hit with Sun Don't Shine.
Don't quite know how that happened, but we know exactly what happened.
Looks sore. That's all I'll say.
Poor old Alex McNaughton, he's really battling at the moment.
Oh, poor guy. Head back in pain.
Look on his face. Please help me, someone.
Oh, the close-up even.
Here's Hardy.
Jay Hardy makes the first.
Having a much more productive second half from a point scoring perspective.
11 points and 7 assists for Hardy now. 4 rebounds as well. Like you said, just being a lot more efficient in the second half. Kind of pulling the balls out of some pretty tough situations offensively. Lockie great. What a game for him tonight. So 8 points off the bench.
Nice finish for Craig, wasn't it? 4-point game. Flynn Cameron back out there. Tanangi, Quetta, baseline on Bryce Johnson. Nice little pull-up jumper there from the Quetta. He's up to 17. He's the leading point scorer in the game still.
Good confidence for a Quetta as well. Despite being the game-leading scorer, I feel as though he's slowed down a little bit, seeing a little bit less touches. Nice to see one go through the bottom of the net for him.
Jones, the shot clock down to 4. And he's fouled right at the end of the offensive play.
That's an absolute coach killer, that one. You played 23 seconds of excellent defense, so we're going to force Jones into a tough shot. See it on the replay here. Just changes direction, gets Flynn on the back foot, sorry, and Quetta just too late to rotate on that one. That's just Quetta's second foul. You don't want to send son of Phil Jones to the Chemist Warehouse strike, do you?
Certainly not.
Well, apparently you do.
Jones is having a tough night. He played really well in the rapidly game, but Jones is struggling. He hasn't scored any points in this game, and Nelson might really need him to fire up because he's been averaging 13 a game over the first 2 games of the season. Now he gives up a foul. Pretty cheap one there too.
Yeah, tough there for Hayden Jones. He is a prolific scorer at heart, obviously in his own age group, but especially in the Sal's NBL is known to knock down a couple of threes. It's a nice little pull-up mid-range, but like you said, just a missing piece tonight for the Giants.
Defense on Hardy by Webster right at the end of that play. Jones has picked up the rebound. Dalton. Oh, it's Slipped into the hands there of Cameron. He's off to the races. He can't get it to fall either. Great. Weighted eyes in the back of his head. Aquera. Messy play from the Bulls as Cameron tidies up with 4 on the shot clock. Hardy. That's a real killer. That's a beautiful shot from Tay Hardy.
Wow. An empty and messy possession for the Bulls. Saved by the greatness of Tay Hardy. So shifty, such a good shot creator. And his hands go up in the air as he gains his 4th foul.
Hardy on 4, Tobias Cameron on 4. Still 5:57 left.
We'll see that one again. Just a little free step there for Hayden Jones. Tay Hardy was a little bit late to recover. Not a lot in that, Glenn.
Not indeed. Hardy, is he going to be subbed out of the game? I would get him out. Roll the dice. No, he's definitely coming off. Tobias Cameron back out there now on 4 fouls. Here's Liam Judd. Oh, stolen by Aquera. Read the play, and here's another jam for David Aquera. How many's that in the game? 3, maybe 4.
And up to 4 steals for Aquera in the passing lanes, reading it like there's no tomorrow. That is a tough gig for the Giants. They're back to 9.
It was 4 points just a moment ago. Johnson can't bury that mid-range jumper. Bodies flying everywhere off the ball. Dalton's been fouled. Testing the rebound. That was a real killer, those 2 points. We're now up to 19 in the game.
Like I said, just read that like yesterday's newspaper. Jumped in the passing lane, creates the highlight reel for himself. Causing to be a real issue here for the Giants, and you feel for them. They have stints of really good work, but just can't continue on that momentum and capitalise to get in front.
Yes, they've been their own worst enemies at times. Also, those missed opportunities from layups at various times during the game, with at least 4 or 5 of them right in the game.
Yeah, Dalton's field goal just decreasing to 41% now, missing a couple of easy little hooks and floaters. Misses that.
Dalton's not been going well from the free throw line. Chemist Warehouse stripe in the NBL. He's only going at 25%. Aquera is leading the game MVP. MixandPick.com poll. Can't say I'm surprised. He's going great in this game as Dalton nails the second. Aquera's numbers: 19.6 rebounds, 4 steals, 2 blocks. Too shabby. 6 rebounds, we've mentioned that too. Here comes Tarangi. Flynn Cameron. Shot clock down to 8. Lovely pass. Here's Aquera for 3. And in the end, Johnson with the rebound.
That was nice offense though. Found the short roll, found the shooter on the opposite side of the floor. Aquera can knock those ones down. Giants don't want to give away too many of those, but saved by the basketball lords for another possession.
Great. Gives it to Johnson. Marked by Marcel Jones. Shot clock down to 4. Johnson beautifully finished.
Well, that's the definition of bully ball there from Bryce Johnson, and we need more of that. So simple. Gets the catch and just backs Marcel Jones down. That's a recipe for success.
Cleared a foul by Johnson. That's his 4th foul. Trading there for Bryce Johnson. A lot of those fouls that he's conceded in the game, there hasn't been a lot of physicality in them. Just enough though from the referee's perspective.
Yeah, I would love to see the replay of this. It was a great job to wall up there. Thought he may have got ball, but maybe a little bit of hand in there. It's hard to see from this angle. Nevertheless, he needs to be really careful now, and a decision for Fitch. Does he roll the dice and keep Johnson on? Does he take him out? It's a really important part of the game. Johnson, you kind of need him right now.
Yeah, you keep him on. You're 6 points down. You've got to roll the dice now.
He's just got to be smart.
We're at the Chemist Warehouse stripe for the first time in the game. And he clicks over to 20 points. Make that 21 now. As the lead goes back to 8. 4.5 to play here. Johnson, double teamed. The player's open somewhere. Dalton. Shot for Callum. Dalton tips, and it's been pinched by Gloger. And there's a foul by Dalton.
That's a great look for Dalton once again. Caught with a bit of momentum, had the advantage, but just couldn't get the finish. And I feel like that's been the tale of today for the Giants.
Shots were falling for Dalton in the first half. Not the second.
And just concedes the foul, of course. Tried to get away with possession there, but I don't think that was going to happen.
Oh, Johnson stolen it off Flynn Cameron. Brilliant. Oh, lovely. And that's brilliant finish there from Crate. Well, Crate reckoned he might have been fouled. There were appeals for a foul on the shot there from Lockie Crate. What play from Johnson at the halfway line?
Oh, Johnson, we'll see it again, no doubt. Somehow regains possession, of course. Lockie Crate in the right place at the right time. That's 10 points off the bench for the young fella in 20 minutes played. A heads-up play from the veteran Johnson there, and they're back within 6.
Yeah, 10 points. He season's best last year, actually 6 points. 3 times, so he's on a career high score here of double digits for the first time in his career.
It's been great having him in Nelson. I think Fitch is a great coach for the potential and the skill level that Crate possesses. He's such a good player off the ball. Had mentioned his slashing ability, and again, as we saw, so good in transition. The shortest fall into his hands. We'll see that from a different angle. I don't know how Johnson regained possession there. That's just what the Giants needed, you know, back within 6, only 2 possessions away. 3 possessions at its worst.
Also like Crate because he's got an outside shot too. He's going to be an interesting watch when he goes to Wisconsin after the season here in New Zealand.
And lots of young guns to keep your eyes on. Jackson Ball being a massive talk of the NZNBL, of course. Carter Footboy and Tama Isaac, a little older, but far out. They've been manhandling this league.
This is going great for the 5. Jackson Ball, meantime, back in action tomorrow for the Hawks against the Airs over in New Plymouth. 3 o'clock that game. In fact, 4 o'clock start that game in the NZNBL, the Rapid League at 3. Here comes Hardy, who's back out there now on 4 fouls. Looks a little uncertain. Quetta with into Gloger. That's a brilliant left-hander. He is clutch.
He just makes shots when they need him. He is a role player, a glue guy, and really efficient from anywhere in the paint. Lockie Crate having the career night, can't finish that one. Until Gloger up to 14 points with that make.
Cameron looking to up the pace again, and he earns a foul.
Gloger, like I said, 14 points, 71% from the field, 7 rebounds. Surprised he's not on that mix and pick game MVP poll. Scan that QR code. Alex McNaught making a surge to the top.
Yeah, he's got his fans. Quera, 25%. Flynn Cameron at the Chemist Warehouse stripe.
Make some noise, Nelson.
Ball's kick clear again. That in. So that's 12 points for Cameron in the game. His first game, remember, of 2025 NZNBL. Having just returned from Melbourne United.
Yeah, tough loss for Melbourne United, but great for the Illawarra Hawks to get their first championship and the seasons in their history as 2 bunnies missed by the Giants. Glenn, it's just all going wrong for the Giants tonight.
Beating themselves at this point is Hardy! Who was that? Crate does a brilliant job, and there's Gloger again not missing. Brilliant performance from the field from the German. He's 7 from 9, 16 points.
We'll see that one again, no doubt. Lockie Crate, the athletic weapon, gets up, but it's not enough. And when it's just been that 6-point threshold, the Giants have never been able to break. And you kind of feel that the Franklin Bulls are starting to put that icing on the cake a little bit.
Yeah, there's been some real unsung heroes in that Franklin team. Gloga we've touched on. Ruben Tarangi at various points too, Maya, has been excellent. 14 points. He's shooting the ball at 62%. He's taken 3 rebounds. He's had a pretty solid game, the Tall Blacks vet.
Oh, you can always trust Ruben Tarangi to be consistent, right? He scores when he needs to, efficient going downhill, knock down a couple of threes. As we see that game MVP poll, scan the QR code, join the fun, let us know who your MVP is. Yeah, but Tarangi just doing the solid things that don't come off in the stat categories as well. Always consistent defensively, is a great emotional leader.
Yeah, Aqueta's been good though too. I'm not surprised he's at the top, and he's actually building a nice little lead there, although just as I say that, he drops 1 percentage point. 21 points for Aqueta, 7 rebounds as well, and he's buried a 3-pointer, 4 steals, a couple of blocks.
Does it all, the 22-year-old out of Perth. And interestingly, Flynn Cameron, the only bench player to score tonight. He has all 12 of their bench points. Bit of a different story for the Giants. Sammy D and Ollie Crate contributing off the bench. So for a team that goes deep, not a lot of bench scoring tonight for the Bulls.
It's interesting as we see Hayden Jones get the layup to fall, and he'll go to the Chemist Warehouse stripe for a 3-point play.
Hayden Jones understanding the assignment, coming out of that timeout, does a good job to play off 2 feet. Lets Aqueta jump first, takes the contact, and that's an easy finish for Jones.
It's his first field goal of the night. A bit of luck there. That's how my free throws used to fall.
Is that right?
Yeah. Never missed. 10-point game.
Never missed from the Chemist Warehouse. Glenn Lama, you heard it here first.
30 left in the ball game. Here's Hardy. Here's Tarangi. Reach and foul there by Dempster. Nelson a little unlucky perhaps on that occasion.
It's a great prime from Tarangi too, of who else? Gloga, always in the right spot. And you kind of thought the Giants got a tip to that and might have got a steal, but unfortunately giving up another foul. And again, they just can't crack the lead here. They've done a good job to stay around, float around, but the Franklin Bulls just always having an answer tonight.
Foul actually went on Forbes. We go 1 from 2 from that visit to the Chemist Warehouse stripe. He's got 17 in the game.
And just on Forbes, he had a little bit of a scoring outburst, but hasn't actually scored since the first half. Nice little turnaround jumper for Liam Judd.
5 points for Judd. 8 points. Keep the ball, the Giants. 2 minutes left. Bulls game to lose. Hardy, brilliant.
He is just an elite shot maker, up to 16 points now. 6 for 14 from the field. So good at being shifty. Downhill, nice finish off the glass too. Hayden Jones, oh!
Another block to Aqueta though. Read that beautifully.
3 blocks now for Aqueta, just tallying the defensive stats. 4 blocks, 3 steals, not bad. It's just that length, right? You thought that Hayden Jones had the advantage on him, spun out and extended it with right arm, excuse me. But Aqueta, just the length on him, finds the block.
10-point game with 1:37 left. And hello, what's happened here? So Tay Hardy.
Looks as though there may be an unsportsmanlike foul on Tay Hardy. Would love to see a replay of that if possible.
It is going to be Hardy with another free throw.
Must have been the technical following the foul that was conceded on Hardy, so it had the technical free throw first and then 2 free throws here. I'll find out for you who that was on.
And he gets all 3, Hardy, anyway. Really nice job as the Bulls. That might have just sealed victory, that play.
Liam Judd conceding the technical foul there. Must have had some choice words for the referees after that foul.
Here's Jones. Dempster for three. He's away, unfortunately, Sammy D.
It kind of feels like the telling sign, Glenn.
Let's see if we can go back here.
Following the game tonight, please do make sure you
see there, Judd, the frustration, probably met a few choice words fly. And a frustrating night for him, right? 5 points, his second leading scorer for the Giants, but had an extremely quiet night tonight. Definitely a combination of frustration from the call, but from his night too.
Flynn Cameron from the corner. That rubs it in as Franklin close in on their fourth victory.
15 points off the bench now for Flynn Cameron. First 3 ball of the night. We'll take another look at that. And you just see he gets in a little tussle with Jalen Forbes after that as well. It's some words and a little bit of a celebration, but Franklin Ball is just coming alive in these last few minutes. Clutching up, and
Nelson really struggling now. And there's a three from Jones, his first of the night, but it's come too late.
Yeah, that's the kind of scoring success we needed from Jones and the Giants a little bit earlier. They just had patches where they couldn't put the ball through the bottom of the net, and that's how it's turned out tonight, why they do trail by 13.
With just on 30 seconds left. Tay Hardy certainly been instrumental in the second half. Hardy's going to be called for a foul there, is he?
His smile was almost in shock, and it's going to be his night, Glenn.
He's fouled out with 19 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists.
Oh, Alex McNaught sold that like a street market. Oh, what a sell from McNaught. Tay Hardy just laughing about it, sees the comical side of it. Going to get the win nonetheless.
Yeah, tough start to the 2025 season for Nelson, but Franklin certainly making a statement early in this season as they close in on victory number 4 from 5 matches. Hayden Jones with 2 more. Harry Coker-Gray out there for a couple of seconds as Flynn Cameron has the last say, and that is that. It's Franklin who have taken the victory here in Nelson. Nice response from them after going down to Hawke's Bay in their previous game. Ground out a win over the Giants, 94-83.
The Bulls looked really good tonight. A couple of really good performances from across the board. David Akweta, the main one, 21 points, 7 rebounds, 4 steals with 3 blocks. He is your mix and pick game MVP.
Yeah, well done to him. And that was an excellent performance as we check out the upcoming fixtures for you. We're back in action tomorrow in New Plymouth. It's the Airs hosting the Hawks. And then at 6:30, the Sharks and the Jets do battle in Invercargill. And then we've got a couple of good games coming up on Sunday with a Rams-Saints game. That's going to be a beauty from Cowell Stadium in Christchurch. And the Giants, after losing here, travel to Auckland to play the Tuatara. So well done to the Franklin Bulls. Good all-round performance. They get the victory here in Nelson, 94-83. Thanks for watching here on Sky Sport, and we'll catch you for more Cells NBL tomorrow. In the meantime, mā te wā.